I already have.
Nigga, you forget how nice I am with it, though. I will fucking I will spin some shit into gold.
No, I would actually I already have a plan. If you look at the articles, this specific thing I'm gonna
I didn't look at them. I'm
okay.
just gonna fucking.
Well, yeah,
I'm not,
but there's
bro.
specific topics I'm gonna
Am I
touch on.
nice or what?
You all right.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. And then, anale. Darwin,
What are you doing here?
It's challenge day.
Season 3, episode 6. What's going on, y'all? This is challenge day.
Sac
Y'all know what
passe.
So just real quick, we want to just give you guys a quick housekeeping heads up. You know what it is. Hit us up on the social media platforms you like to frequent at another challenge day. Jeff, not Jeffrey. As Darwin Darko. I'll point it up because on my screen he's actually on a screen above mine, so that's why it looks weird when I do this. But he's actually gonna be to the side. So don't come after me.
But you can stretch your joint You can stretch your joint.
Yeah,
okay,
I could, but I just have a certain way.
Okay.
But anyway,
Do your thing.
So with that being said, we're gonna jump right into it. What you got for the mass count, bro?
Oh, before the mass count though, I do have a quick housekeeping. Is that we put out the clip for it was a side quest. It was a side quest. I'm interested in what folks got to say about it. The side quest is about, I'm not gonna say what it's about, but there's a painting on there by Titian, right? And it's a short story. All right, it's a short story. It's on the tubes. Go check it out. Freaking TikTok was hating on your boy, but you know, Jeff will get into that. We'll get into that a little bit later. But it's a short story. It's a side quest. Not normally part of what we're doing, but every once in a while we like, you know, we take a little, we veer left a little bit and put something out because you know it's either on our hearts or it's prescient. So check that out. You know, on the channel. You know, subscribe, click, like it, and all that kind of stuff, and help shoot it up the algorithm. But as far as the mass count, all right, the mass count. All right, where we at?
This is America.
Yeah, I'm looking at the link now. I just selected the
link. Yeah, and go to the where it says mass count. Well, not mass count, it says mass shootings, and there's a
mass shooting, yes.
Yeah, you click that where it says mass shooting, the word mass shooting, click that.
I'm clicking it, but I'm not. Oh, the one on the left side. Okay, I'm clicking. I was clicking
the words mass shooting. Yep.
Mass shooting with the mass shooting square too, right?
Yep. Squared.
Squared. I said square too. Squared. Jesus Christ.
Math, man. The math.
Yeah, the math is just the math right now.
And look, it shows you the specific ones.
Yeah, and it gives you like a location too. Some of them give you an address.
Yeah, because I mean, if it's like at a particular mall, the mall has an address. You know what I mean? Or school, the school has an address. So November 18th, today is what, the 19th? So yesterday there was 3 mass shootings. Arkansas, Tennessee, and California.
Yeah.
So we have Arkansas competing with Tennessee here with okay. So it's got, so you have 1 victim killed in Arkansas before injured, as opposed to Tennessee where there's 4 killed and 1 injured. But look, there's also the suspect was killed.
Oh, okay. It does tell you that as well.
It shows you that the suspect. And look, scroll down. I'm scrolling down because now that I see that the suspect's killed, look how many where the suspect is not killed.
Yeah, most of them. Most of them. In all these instances, only 2 suspects have been killed. In all of these instances, and this is only page 1. That's crazy.
We can't go on. We can't keep going on pages.
I'm just
20 pages.
mentioning that it's
20 pages. Don't even do that to the people. Yo, and look, this one,
Dang,
this is
that's
a
really
Florida one in
surprising.
Tampa. Is 2 victims killed, 15 injured, and the suspect was not killed, but he was
Wow.
arrested. Oh snap! How about this? There's an arrested column.
This is getting worse.
Oh
is getting
no!
worse. This is getting a lot
Oh
worse.
no! So there's like there's a suspect killed column, which is 0. I'm looking at one right now. This was in let's look at this. Oh no! This one was in Dallas, Texas.
It's pretty bad.
5 people injured. Nobody died, but 5 people injured. Was the suspect killed? Nope. Was any suspects injured?
Nope.
Was he arrested?
No, he wasn't.
This nigga's still out
that
there?
boy on the run. that boy on the run.
Oh my god!
That's a hope.
Oh my god! I never thought about that.
Yo, what it looked like to me. It's crazy that we actually never addressed that.
I never thought about that.
That's actually another element that we can consider now in mass count. That what if Cuz actually got away? He's still on the run.
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy. Bro.
What the hell are we doing?
That's crazy. That means some of these guys are
somebody's doing mass shootings and getting away with it, putting the work and just getting away. Not even injured, not even arrested.
Nothing.
Oh no.
That definitely adds another wrinkle to this mass count situation here.
Bruh, that's tough.
And it's not like
I never even thought to consider that.
Yeah, and if you look at these numbers, it's not like it's uncommon that the suspect is not arrested.
It's not even uncommon. It's like a lot of zeros in that column.
Yeah, it's a lot of zeros in this column. Yeah.
But you know what? There's always a number on is either the victim killed or victim injured column.
Yeah,
because it wouldn't even be on this fucking list.
Yeah, if that wasn't the case, for sure.
Joe, the Washington Post wrote this article called Terror on Repeat. So they are taking the unusual step of publishing photographs and videos taken during the immediate aftermath of mass shootings. This is more of a historic kind of thing. They did 11 mass killings from the past 11 years. So it's nothing that happened within the last few months, but I don't know what the latest one would be. But if you're out there listening, just Google Washington Post Terror on Repeat. Trigger warning. So this whole clip, by the time you're listening to this, you should have been already warned with the thumbnail on this video should have, warning on this content for this part that you're listening to right now. But if you want the truth, if you want the real picture of what's happening out there and not just some numbers, Washington Post they're at their limit, which I've been at. They're at their limit in that, they're taking this step publishing photographs and videos taken during the immediate mass shootings on some of the nation's deadly shootings because it will solidify for a lot of people who have this idea of this amorphous thing called a mass shooting, and they become numb to it. We've all become numb to this shit. The mass count, like you said, we've been doing this mass count for a minute now, and we didn't even think about to consider the fact that some of these people had they been arrested? Yeah. Had they been killed? We just been counting numbers.
It was almost an expectation that they either were killed or arrested.
You just assume that they are.
Yeah, we just assumed they were. Yeah.
You just assume they are. And you assume the number is going to go up. Yeah. This year is going to break last year's record. But Terror on Repeat. They start off by saying that the photos, videos, and personal accounts below are extremely disturbing and may be too upsetting for some people. So I'm voicing that for you right now. They also have a link you can click and say, why are we publishing these disturbing content from these AR-15 things? Our decision to publish this story came after careful and extensive deliberation amongst the reporters and editors who worked on it, as well as senior leaders in our newsroom. The goal was to balance two crucial objectives: to advance the public's understanding of mass killers, increasing use of this readily available weapon. They're talking about the AR-15, which was originally designed for war, to do as much damage as possible. The bullet goes in you and bounces around.
Yeah. And depending on the round that you have, it could actually just go through you and hit somebody else.
It could, and go through multiple people.
Yeah.
Pick your round, your choice.
Yeah.
It's for war, to kill as many people as possible
in a short amount of
time. Increasing use of these readily available weapon, which was originally designed for war, while being sensitive to victims' families and communities directly affected by AR-15 shootings. So this is what they're balancing there. They're trying to be sensitive to the victim and family, because this is some gruesome stuff that's we're about to go into right now. They're trying to balance that and the fact that this weapon is out there in the population amongst people that a lot of people probably should not have them. Nobody should probably have them. We don't need them. We don't need them. The only reason that folks have them, well, not maybe there's a lot of people, let me put it this way, that have them because they know other people have them.
Yeah.
And so they have them as a response to other people having them.
That's a whole fact.
It's a goddamn arms race.
People that I know that have them have personally told me that. Like, I used to work in security years back, and they told me straight up. They
don't even for no other reason. They're like, I don't need this shit for nothing else.
They literally would tell me that. It was like, I really don't need it, but I have it because I know that other people have. I know that other people have it. And so you're right, and I'm like, that's crazy.
And I can't trust them other people like that.
Yeah, facts, big facts.
And I don't know what those other people be on. And so it's like one of those things. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, kind of thing.
I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Oh, so it's an arms race.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about what's happening. Yeah. But in that arms race, there's people that are having it that should be nowhere near that thing.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Okay, so that's the caveat. They decided to publish it. I didn't even need all of that deliberation personally. For me, I thought we should have been shown every casket of every dead soldier that came back from Iraq and Afghanistan. That shit should have been on the fucking news. That shit should have been in the public eye. We should have seen that. We would have gotten the fuck out of Afghanistan and Iraq way earlier.
Yeah.
Because the public would have been like, yo, every night I come home, I watch, I sit down, I'm watching the evening news, and they have a segment, the in memoriam, or thank you for your service segment, whatever they would have called it. If they was true to us and not trying to freaking whitewash our history in real time. We didn't see those. We just saw numbers on the screen. We didn't know those were actual caskets. Those were actual bodies. The families knew. Their squad mates knew. The platoon mates knew. I was with this dude. I was on patrol with him. We actually went out to the local bar a couple of nights before, or wherever you're deployed at, or wherever you're stationed at. I was on a Zoom call with him and his family, from back home. Whatever it was, they knew. But none of us, people that never served. I mean, I served, so I was part of those calls. I was part of driving someone driving someone's family member after they had to go on a special operation. Driving their family member to go to go live with somebody, their mom, their wife, and their kid.
Yeah.
taking care of them while they're away, checking in on them.
Yep.
So when that soldier died, when that sailor died, that I was intimately connected to, ain't nobody else in the fucking United States knew about that casket. Nobody else knew about that crap. His family knew. My squad mates knew.
Squad mates. Yeah.
My unit, we knew.
Yeah.
But the rest of the United States should see a goddamn number. So this is exactly the goddamn thing. Show the caskets. Show the aftermath. It's tough. It hurts. But that's the sentiment that you need to get into people's freaking visual cortex so that they could like, yo, stop this shit. We wouldn't have been in Afghanistan for 20 years if everybody would have saw day in and day out the catastrophic loss.
Yeah.
The senseless people that died.
There are a lot of
victims.
people that died for no reason.
For no reason. That's Iraq specifically. Go over there.
Some people to go over there to
go do a thing.
Yeah.
Kill a bunch of people. Hopefully you don't get killed at the same time. So the AR-15 has soared in popularity over the past 2 decades and is now the gun used more than any other in the country's deadliest mass shootings. So the Washington Post mentioned that they engaged in conversations with advocates, including victims' families, before they posted this. It was deliberate. It was like very thoughtful.
Oh, so they very,
you know what I mean? They talked to advocates. They talked to victim families. They talked to
That's good. I like that they actually at least
they didn't just do this off of a whim. You know what I mean? Versus how I would do. I'd be like, yo, show that shit. Show that shit to everybody so that everybody can be like, oh shit, like, yo, really? This is what it looks like. And we're gonna be showing this to y'all. I'll give y'all the warnings and everything already. Right?
Yeah.
Some of whom see a potential value in publishing content to increase public awareness, and others who see such publications as dehumanizing and traumatizing. There's going to be those. You're right. There's going to be people that be like, this is traumatizing. It is. But if we keep hiding it, sweeping it under the rug, and just using numbers and data points. We tried that method. We tried it. It ain't helping. Sweeping it on the rug, it ain't helping. So the first image we have up that plays as the background shows this AR-15 on the ground. There's some sandals. There's blood. You see there's a shoe print on the left side there.
Yeah, I see that.
Somebody stepped on blood and walked over that. A seemingly safe, familiar place instantly transforms into a hellscape of chaos, destruction, and mass death. They one of the ones is the concert. Was it the Vegas concert?
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Yeah,
the Vegas concert. People just going for a concert, having a good time, and next thing you know, they're running for their lives. It's indiscriminate. Yeah. Anybody can get it. They show another image of bullet holes riddled throughout it looks like a church.
Looks like it looks like the AME church that had that shooting.
Yeah. Church pews scattered, like all of this. People, you can tell people were trying to get the hell up out of there.
Yeah.
It's chaos.
There and you see a phone, you see a bunch of
Yeah. Leave whatever you can. Just get out. Some of those people did not make it. The full effects of AR-15's destructive force are rarely seen in public. The impact is often shielded by laws and court rulings that keep crime scene photos and records secret. Journalists do not typically have access to the sites of shootings to document them. Even when photographs are available, news organizations generally do not publish them out of concern about potentially dehumanizing victims or re-traumatizing their families. I get it. There's a videos where and pictures of the schools. There's one picture here I'm looking at, the Tree of Life Synagogue, a prayer book, has a bullet. A bullet, what looks like to me like a bullet ran through that bit.
You're looking at Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook is wild. Tree of Life Synagogue. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Sandy Hook.
That book. Yeah.
Glass. So Sandy Hook, I think that's the one that when they said originally, like, he shot through the entryway and got in.
Yeah.
26. This is when I knew, bro, this country was just like we have to get people get their AR-15 because the people got them. When you saw elementary school kids, Sandy Hook, that was it. That was Obama era, wasn't it? Obama time.
Yep. Obama, during his era, there was quite a few.
And you see those kids get gunned down, babies. And ain't shit changed. When that happened, you knew that horse left the barn. That horse left the barn.
Yeah.
Forget about it. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I think honestly, that
was the one for me.
Yeah,
that was one for me.
That was probably one for me too. I ain't gonna lie. That definitely was probably the one for me. Because it's an event that happened. You know, for some people that with the Columbine thing, like that happened when I wasn't like a full grown adult like I am now. With the Sandy Hook thing. So I was able to actually like really process it, like with the Sandy Hook thing, and I was like, damn, bro, homie really went after kids, bro.
But it's not just that though. Yes, yeah, that's the most egregious part.
Yeah.
But what did we do after? It was a bunch of kids. We know what the result was, and we did nothing.
Yeah.
We didn't change any laws. We just debated this shit and fucking just like swept it under the rug again.
Yeah. That's a crazy.
Imagine they show dead bodies of kids on the news within a week. Blood everywhere. Glass broken everywhere.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not even sure if that would even matter. I'm not even sure. And this.
You might be right. You might be right. You might be right. But we ain't tried it yet, though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Bump that.
Because we have
bump that. Try it. SEC, you want to show me, dog.
So they probably not gonna allow that, but the censorship and all that. But you're right. I mean,
it's like there's this freaking higher ass mechanism just designed to freaking keep us like at a zombie level mode. Just like we can't get the people too upset. We can't make shit too real for them. But shit is real out here. Like, and then people like change their mind about the way they like move through life in America and voting and everything in their positions, because until it happens to them with everything, whether it's mass shooting, whether if it's gay marriage, or if it's abortion, whatever the hell it is, until they're faced with, oh snap, my daughter who is 12 years old was just raped and pregnant now by some stranger. And they're suddenly like, yeah, I think I want to get her an abortion. But if it never happens to you, God forbid it ever happens to you, like, I don't want that to happen to anybody. But when it does, you inevitably be like, yo, man, I need access over here in Texas. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, when it hit home, it definitely, I mean, regardless of your position on it, when it hits home, it definitely hits different.
Sure. It hit different.
It definitely hit different. That's just a fact. You can't debate that.
We have one in here in Oregon Historic District, in Ohio, 9 killed, and they showed this bicycle just laying on the ground, had police tape everywhere, and cones. And I venture to say that those cones all are identifying rounds.
Yeah, it's that's what they're for. Yeah,
spent rounds.
Yeah,
I see a number.
I see 69.
Oh, that's the reason I'm trying to. Dog, I'm about to say, okay, I spot me a 26. I see a 34. You skip to the end. You say you see a 69.
I see 69, man. That means
Yeah.
he reloaded. That means he reloaded at least.
Oh,
once.
there's a 69 right there
Yeah, on the left side. Yep.
on the
Yeah.
left side. 69.
That means he reloaded at least once, depending on his magazine size. But
69. Even if you're hunting hogs, why are you shooting 69 times, my G? You're not doing that. You're not. It's not 69, bro. You got bad maintenance. You got bad maintenance on your property. If you got 69 hogs that you need to put down, or if there's only like 10 hogs and it takes you 69 shots to get to it, the math ain't mathing. 69. There's only one reason to have this weapon is because there's combatants scattered throughout the land that you need to take down, aka a theater of war. And that's what this weapon is being used in the fucking like downtown space somewhere. This looks like it could be Old Town. I'm looking at this could be Old Town. I could be walking up and down the street, just go to a coffee shop or ice cream shop.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm not gonna lie. Like even when I go in,
It could go down anywhere,
bro. Even when I go into DC, bro, like when I say my eyes are like peeled everywhere when I'm in DC, man, I'm looking everywhere all the time, bro. Like first of all, I rarely go to DC. When I'm in DC, I'm on point, like on point for real. Like, yeah, bro. Like there's certain places that I venture to that I like. I'm in and out. Boom, boom. I'm in and out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, it could go down. For sure.
So the last two that I'm gonna point out on this, and I think we got the point home here, is Robb Elementary School. This was Uvalde.
Yeah, that's the one.
The picture that you're seeing now with the backpacks. Love yourself, it says. One says, this is a Reebok backpack. Just kid shit.
See the irony there.
It's kid shit. What are we doing? At very least, this picture should be shown. I get it. I'm sorry to the family that this happened. This is crazy but you're it. Sorry. You got to be it to save a bunch of other families in the future, to actually do something about this. Change up these gun laws. Do something about these background checks. Magazine capacities. There's some basic stuff that everybody agrees with.
Yo, that's
69? We 69?
Yo, I've never seen these pictures before until now. That's a lot of blood, bro.
Does it hit different?
It does. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I never seen these pictures before, and I can see why. You had to low key probably get this behind a paywall with Watch the Post, and I can see why. Because
we're gonna give it to y'all straight, unfiltered.
Yeah, facts. Hey, y'all definitely gonna see it, but
they're gonna have to catch me, dog. And then the final picture, right after that one, is another angle, Robb Elementary. So police waited 77 minutes, remember, before controlling the gunman in classroom 111.
I think that's what pissed me off the most about that whole situation. Just I can go on a whole tirade about that, about the actions of these officers that waited that much time to let this guy literally accomplish what he set out to do.
Yes, you can go on forever, but that's just one. That's just one incident out of out
of a bunch of
hundreds.
Out of a bunch of that's true. That's true. I always say this though, America was fighting on violence. So are we really surprised? Are we really surprised?
We're not. The final one. Again, there's no people. We're gonna make sure we have an effort. We're not showing any bodies.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be blood. There will be blood.
Yeah, you'll definitely see that. For sure.
But this final picture here, another one from Uvalde. Again, this is the one where the police. We saw it. We saw that the police waiting in the hallway. Fucking cowards. Waiting in the hallway. You signed up for that job, right? Serve and protect, right? But they're always trained to make it home. They never really put their life in harm's way. Not 100%. I get it. But you get these cowards out of the force. You get these people that abuse their power off the force. This is what I'm talking about. But you know, if it's a black kid swimming in a swimming pool somewhere that he don't belong in, you better be sure they're going to DDT that fool.
Mm-hmm.
You better be sure some little black girl
We already know how
is
it
selling
go.
lemonade somewhere. They're gonna arrest her ass.
We already know how that go.
They
That's a
see
whole
somebody.
other element. I don't even wanna...
They see somebody with an AR-15. Again, they scared because it's an AR-15, right? So even the police are scared of this thing.
They're gonna make sure to take him to a Burger King or a McDonald's though.
Make sure he's nice, well fed.
Yeah, they're gonna make sure.
This final picture that we're posting up here. So they rushed in after waiting those 77 minutes, dragging out students from that room, and you could see the streaks of blood. Only the teacher survived.
Everybody get down! Get down! Hop over! Go! Hop! No! Get down! Get down!
I saw the New York Times. Came through my timeline.
They did.
New York Times came through my timeline,
Mm-hmm.
and this article: the war turns Gaza into a graveyard for children.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Today.
Yeah,
Today they came out with that fucking headline.
yeah. And I saw you made it a point to mention that we talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Today they came out with that headline.
Yeah.
Weeks ago,
they
we
watching
posted
they watching our
that the
pod,
kids are not all right.
They watching our pod, man. The New York
You
Times
watching our pod, nigga?
the
Watch
New
it
York
faster.
right?
Are you crazy? It's
Yeah.
been weeks.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's become a graveyard for children. Where have you been?
Nah, they knew that. It's just they're just now putting it out, but they do that. Let's keep it.
All we know, all we've
it's all about
learned,
timing with these.
all
companies.
we've learned with that shit is what their level of casualty count is that they can that they feel some type of way about.
Yeah.
Where we, as true humanitarians, we're like, oh, whoa, wait, yo, this ain't looking right. We said that early, it wasn't looking right. It's just now not looking right for y'all till y'all can finally say it now, huh? So let me see. If it's, let's say, 7,000 children died, and you're taking a stand now, I think it's something like 4,000 actually, something like, I don't have the exact number in front of me. But go ahead, what'd you say?
No, it was more than 11,000 that are dead in Gaza, but as far as children,
Right, as far as children go, we'll get around to that. But to my point, my greater point is this. My greatest point is this. It takes individual numbers to count up to 4,000 or 11,000, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We're talking about just kids. To add up to, let's say, 5,000. So kid number 173. No, that didn't do it for you. Kid number 617. How about that one?
When you put it that way, it sounds egregious for sure.
Nothing? No? Okay. I'll give you this one. Fuck 618 through 700. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck those kids. Right? 701.
That sounds crazy, bro.
Hey, I'm the New York Times, my G. I'm a multi-billion-dollar fucking historic entity that has the platform and the ear and the eyeball of pretty much most of America.
Yeah, pretty much.
701. Did that kid matter then? 701. No? No, not him either. Not him or her either, right? Okay. All right. Not 700. 1,200. 2,000. 2,500. When can I get to a fucking number that you give a fuck about?
Bro.
At which point?
Clearly we know what side America is on there. and that's part of what's driving it.
That's all we found out.
Let's just keep it a whole stack. That's part of
That's
what's
all
driving
we
it.
found out
Yeah.
was when they give a fuck about kids. And that this whole bullshit with the extremists, Zionists, say that there's no innocent people in Gaza? None?
Wow.
And you're bombing them with American paid ammunition. So we're culpable. When Biden went and hugged Bibi and like whispered in his ear, hey, just take it easy though, my guy, and whispered in his ear, knowing that shit wasn't gonna do nothing, because what's gonna come out in the headlines, that hug, we're culpable. And you're not washing your hands clean of this, Democrat, so-called humanitarian liberal. You're part of that shit. We are culpable. The tax that came out your paycheck, that last paycheck that you just got, that federal tax that you just paid out of your paycheck, that's where that's going. I get it. We can't decide on exactly where our tax dollars are spent. We just pay it, and like, hopefully the people are in position to make the right decisions. We put the people in the right spot. But it's well intentioned, and now freaking Biden is saying some shit where he's like, hey, trying to get a little bit more stern.
Conveniently.
But now you're getting more stern?
Yeah.
You didn't see what the fuck happened when before they even had boots on the ground in Gaza? You see what's going on there? The first freaking hospital that was bombed?
What do you think about those reports? I don't want to elongate this any further, but what do you think about those reports about Hamas using hospitals as headquarters?
Yes, fine.
Do you think there's? I was going to ask you. Do you think there's actual like credence in that?
Yes, sure. But we said this from the jump, though. That don't fucking matter, because they're shooting because they're using humans and children and women, or even innocent men that have nothing to do with the fighting for, like, as human shields. You don't just be like, oh well,
yeah,
fuck them all. Fuck them all. Hey, they shouldn't be using you as, you should move out the way. What the fuck?
You know what it also tells me? It also tells me that one of the hotly debated topics within just the IC, the intelligence community in general, is what is actually actionable intelligence, right? Because they get intelligence all the time, right? So my question to you that I wanted to pose,
it's not debated. It's not debated. They had the intel.
Okay, we can say that. I mean, I think like the FBI and CIA and even like NSA. I think like.
Hold on, we talking about for the Gaza thing?
No. So I'm saying like in general, like in the IC, like this is a hot debated thing, right? Not just for the guys. I was just saying like in general, right? And then I was gonna make it more micro to the Gaza thing. I was gonna transition it to there. But since you kind of jumped ahead, we'll jump to that, right? Now, as far as that, my question I was gonna pose to you is, how accurate should the evidence be, or should the intelligence be, in order to commit an action to it? Does it have to be 60%? All right, let's go do it. Does it have to be 85? And in that question that I'm posing to you, how accurate do you think the intelligence is that Israel is getting in order for it to commit with the actions that they've been doing?
I'll move us further along and say this. So right now, Israel is putting out, I'll say the IDF is putting out.
Yeah, that's more accurate. IDF, yes.
IDF is putting out these videos of them like going through is it Al-Shifa? Is it Al-Shifa?
Is that like their database or something like that, or
hospital? No. Al-Shifa is a hospital.
Oh, it's a house. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Right, and I think it's Al Shifa. I can't recall the name of this place, but they're putting out videos of, oh, we found a command center up under this hospital, and I'm like, they're not, no one's corroborating this. I'm like, so y'all in the command center, even if it's not command center, but y'all in the space, y'all found some guns and stuff. I mean, somebody say the guns was planted. Somebody could say that. You know what I mean? Were they really there? Even if they're there, but that's what we called from for the first time. Use your boots on the ground special forces to get up in there. Why are you bombing them indiscriminately from the sky? What you're doing now, if you're actually going door to door and going in these tunnels, that's what you should be doing. There's going to be less children dead if you do that thing. So I'm not even here to dispute whether or not that's a real headquarter, because apparently some news sources have been going in and they all caveated with, we can't confirm this was a Hamas headquarter, but IDF is telling us that this is what this was. I'm just saying, I'm going by the news report. Hey, I'm not boots on the ground, so I can't report it like that.
I'm curious what methodology they're using to confirm.
But the news agencies, the legitimate news agencies, they ain't buy into it just yet. But you're in there with boots on the ground. That's what you need to be doing. It should be special forces. It should be negotiators. It should be freaking your clandestine services. That should be doing this thing now. You're not gonna win the hearts and minds of people to like, oh, we're gonna stop when they root out Hamas. It's a freaking idea.
So not to be just throwing a different perspective on it. Human is always, when I say human viewers, I'm talking about human intelligence. When I say, so it's always one of the more harder forms to gather data in that using that methodology, because you're risking actual human life, right? And it's a more extensive measure because you have to build rapport with people, you have to build connections, build networks, and all that stuff. So it takes much longer to gather that evidence. In a situation like this, that's why I'm wondering how they're collecting the evidence, right? Like how they're collecting this intel to like determine that, oh, this is a command center, this is
but see, that's not even, but see,
like,
okay,
what method are they
I see what you're saying there. I see what you're saying there, but you have to realize
the way you're collecting it is important.
But wait, Jay, I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere a little different.
All right.
Yes, everything you're saying is facts. But then you collect that, you print it out, you get your papier or assemblée, you good. You like, I got my report. You walk outside that room. As soon as you get outside that door, this random dude in a sports coat say, whoa,
I see what you're saying.
Where you going with that? What you doing with that?
I see.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
I
this
already
is the
know
report.
You're going.
This is the report. No, it's like, oh, let me see that real quick. Hold on.
Bro, come on. You're making quite a claim here. You're making quite a claim.
That is PR. That is the spin room. Okay. You know, this is good data you got here. Yeah, but you know, are we sure though? Can we say that we have a confirmed source that this is? So when which actually is a great pivot point for me, because part of what I've been hearing is every time I'm looking at these death counts and I'm hearing these death counts, and yeah, I live a morbid life like that because I keep up on shit like this. So you don't have to, right? You could just get the bits and pieces that I help regurgitate. None of this is original reporting. But like, you know, you hear this death count, how many people died on October 7th, how many people were captured on October 7th, right? In Israel and the kibbutzes and everything, right? And then you hear about how many people are dying in Gaza, you know, and how many kids, you know what I mean, what the ratio is and all this kind of stuff, how many bombs are dropped. These numbers are going back and forth like crazy. But one thing that I picked up on, and I was like, I just was like, I wondered, because I'm human. I'm a thinking person. I'm like, Israel says, it says this many people have died on October 7th. That's the thing. And then when we got to the Gaza numbers, it would say Hamas medical department, I forgot what exactly what they called, but claims that this many people died. It would always have that little bit of a caveat.
Mm-hmm.
Because part of what they built before was the doubt in anything related to, okay, so remember, people, let's walk and chew gum at the same time here. Hamas is a political party.
Yes.
Right? They have a ministry department. They have combatants, right? They have educational departments, right? And granted, if you are aligned with the banner of Hamas, you may be a humanitarian, you may be a social worker, but wearing that banner also aligns you with the terrorists that did October 7th.
Yeah.
You're aligned with them. You're wearing that banner.
Organization. Yeah.
It's part of that. And so you are part of Hamas. So it's kind of like, you're like, okay, well, if the statisticians of Hamas say a particular number, or if the journalists or the social working aspect of the health department of Hamas says this number, I don't know if y'all should really, we gotta check. We'll check on that. We'll get back to you. We'll check on that. So I'm always like, why is it always got like their numbers are always in question, but y'all numbers is always valid? Turns out, as battles, so I'm reading here from the BBC, right? Yeah. How the dead are counted in Gaza, because I needed to know, because I'm wondering about these numbers. Of course, as battles there intensified, the chaotic situation with bombardment by Israeli forces on the ground, fighting, communications blackouts, fuel shortages. We told you all about this stuff, and crumbling infrastructure making getting accurate information on the numbers of people who have died extremely difficult. Understandable. And Palestinian officials have said there are now significant difficulties in obtaining updated information because the interruption of communications in the Gaza Strip. Remember, they shut off electricity, they shut off communications, they shut off water, all that kind of stuff. The Hamas run, this is how they caveat it all, the Hamas run health ministry is Gaza's official source for death numbers. Granted, they have a militant wing. Do you throw the entire record labor and crew out? If you want to, sure. We know we've seen some pictures though. Okay. Which it updates the death numbers regularly. On Monday evening, it said that 11,240 people had been killed. 11,000. And I think the number in Israel from October 7th was 1,400.
A lot of people.
You got to get your get back. Israel has got to get their get back. I get it. On Monday evening, it said 11,240 people had been killed, including 4,630 children. 4,630 children. And I think the number was 1,400. I'm not saying an eye for eye. You shouldn't be an eye for an eye. We shouldn't be calculating like that.
I see what you're getting at.
It shouldn't be exactly like that. I get it. But at some point, you gotta be like, we didn't allow them to get away with it. We defended ourselves. We killed a bunch of people. Some of them happen to be children. But now you're up to 4,630. And remember, last time we told you, the number wasn't this high. So the number was probably like 3,000. So the 1,600 other kids that could be alive today, that ceasefire has stopped then. New York Times, where the fuck were you?
They were around. But they also
including
have
4,600. Yeah. The editors, somebody writes the freaking bylines and writes the headlines. since Hamas attacks. So that was since October 7th. The figures have been publicly doubted by Israel, although it has had to revise its own death figures. So remember when I kept on saying 1,400?
Mm-hmm.
Israel recently came out with revised numbers for how many people died on October 7th, from 1,400 down to 1,200. So what the fuck can we believe is going on over there?
Mm.
So your numbers can't be trusted. Hamas numbers can't be trusted. So I'm talking about like IDF numbers, Israeli government numbers can't be trusted.
Mhm.
Hamas numbers can't be trusted.
Mhm.
Can I at least believe my eyes? Because I've seen some things.
Yeah, there's some capping going on.
I've seen some things. U.S. President Joe Biden has said he has no confidence in Gaza statistics.
Mm.
Okay, Biden, you don't believe 4,600 children have died. Do you believe 1,000 died? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you believe 1,000 died, and you're fucking cool with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is
1,000 children have died. You're cool with that?
Yeah.
International organizations such as the UN, World Health Organization, have said they have no reason to disbelieve them. They're like, these numbers look pretty accurate.
That's not the. I see what you're getting at here.
I'm not getting at that. I think I'm there.
Yeah,
What
you're pretty much there. It's like the numbers. Well, it's one thing to recognize that obviously the media is capping and there's a lot of inaccuracies that are going on, but the larger picture is, bro, there's a lot of kids that got smoked. that's the larger picture. Like there are a lot of innocent victims who have died. So regardless if it's 100 or if it's 1,500, are you not struck by just innocent people dying in general? Like, I think that's the bigger picture here. So I absolutely understand.
When the BBC approached the spokesperson for the IDF about why is it that you cast doubt on the Gazan death figures, in response, they said that the health ministry was a branch of Hamas. And as a branch of Hamas, any information provided by it should be viewed with caution. But being good journalists, they point out that it did not provide any evidence of inconsistencies in the data released by that same health ministry. Give me one piece of evidence why you think the health ministry in Gaza is lying or making up numbers. I'll believe you. Hey, I'm inclined to believe you.
Mm-hmm.
Give me one piece of evidence, and I'm there. They couldn't give anything.
Nothing.
Just believe us.
Yeah.
We are witnessing in real time the whitewashing of history. The whitewashing, they're telling us the numbers of dead in Gaza are not as high as we see them. We are seeing that the death count on October 7th isn't as high as we originally thought. Like, history is happening before our eyes and is being kind of like cleaned up a little bit as we go along.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is the sort of thing that when we look back at it 20 years from now, we may look at it as if it was like a fucking skirmish.
I see what you're getting at.
Like, if we're not telling the truth about what's going on.
Like when they say slavery was embellished.
Embellished. Oh, the slaves learned valuable skills that they could use for their own benefit.
Yeah.
Prager University, Florida. I'm like, help me help you, Israel. Like, I want peace. I want less dead people that are dying unnecessarily. What what the IDF is doing, what Bibi Netanyahu is doing with all his like he's got some extremists that he had to build a coalition with just so he could gain power again. He wasn't even with these people last time he was prime minister.
It's a valid point. They definitely
He had to really align himself with the most far right. They are in the West Bank right now. I think Biden is supposed to be putting out some statement or something about like, yo, what y'all doing in the West Bank is wild, and what y'all doing?
Yeah.
Like there's some like extremist Zionists in the West Bank that are like really targeting Palestinians in the West Bank.
Yeah.
This shit happened in Gaza.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that quite a bit actually recently. Yeah.
And they going in. And so when you it's like, bro, get Netanyahu the fuck out of here. He's not helping y'all. The far right extremists in Israel is not helping y'all. It's not helping Israel. If you want Israel to survive, you need to get these, because what they're doing is they're helping Hamas. I'm gonna tell you how. They're helping Hamas because part of Hamas's extreme wing is trying to do is show that the Jews are evil, that they're bad, that Israel shouldn't exist because it's, and so like
absolutely.
They want the rest of the Arab world, which surrounds Israel,
to buy into that for sure.
to buy into that idea. When Egypt made peace,
Yeah, Egypt was like,
Jordan in general made peace. They still got factions, you know, in there that are, you know, the not Hamas, what do you call them? The Muslim Brotherhood, and who else is over there trying to Hezbollah in Jordan, you know,
Hezbollah,
and so
Hezbollah, yep.
and in Lebanon and stuff. So like, you know, Israel has some, there's still some some threat there, but it's not like all these countries are like really banding together to go attack Israel.
Yeah, nah.
But what Hamas would like is for that exact thing to happen.
Yeah.
Hamas would love it if nobody had peace with Israel. If all of these Arab countries,
I mean, it's in their charter,
targeted Israel.
It's in Hamas's charter. It's clear that they want to eradicate them.
Right. And so when Israel is doing this indiscriminate killing of children, you can't get people on your side, Israel. These Arab countries are going to be like, yo, they look like me.
Yeah.
And y'all not even trying to like be precise with this joint. You're going to get more enemies, Israel. You can't see that?
And you're gonna drive, and this is a point.
And this is exactly what Hamas wants.
Yeah, that's exactly what they
You're
want.
playing into their hand.
Yeah, and you're creating recruits.
That's a dumb move.
Yeah, you're creating recruits.
It's a bad move. Bad strategy, Mike. Bad strategy.
I think in that same article, it even said that about 70% of the 2 million folks, 70% of 2 million folks have been displaced from the war. And if you do the math, that's
another Nakba.
Yeah, that's like 1.2 million people who've been displaced. So you talking about people who had homes and lives and everything. They just had to get up and go.
So more people in the administration they're finally coming aboard. Something that you and I here on Challenge Day we called out weeks ago. We didn't have to. There's people that could be alive right now. There's kids that could be alive right now.
Yeah.
That didn't have to die if the U.S. was because the U.S. really controls this relationship, and it's mainly Bibi.
Oh, okay.
With Israel.
Okay, because of Israel.
With Israel.
Yeah.
And if the U.S. got their morality together and put their own self-interest, and we put our own I'm part of the fucking complex, put our own self-interest aside for a little bit and be like, what's the bigger picture here? Israel has a right, and we said this the entire time, because we walk and chew gum at the same time here on Challenge Day. Israel has a right to defend itself and a duty to protect its citizens. We said that, right? But not my words. New York Times' words. Remember, I pointed out earlier, New York Times said that Gaza has become a graveyard for children. I told y'all that, but New York Times says this, so y'all cool with it now, right? Because they're a reputable source. Okay, cool. Antonio Gutierrez, United Nations Security General, warned, you cannot use, I'm quoting here, you cannot use the horrific things Hamas did on October 7th as a reason for the collective punishment of the Palestinian people. That's a U.S. representative. UN Secretary General. Concern is growing as internal, and remember, I told you, Biden is about to put out a statement. By the time you're hearing this, he probably has put out his statement already, trying to check Israel on this. Okay, good luck after you've been hugging them and all this stuff and telling them they can do what the fuck they want, right? Concern is growing, and internal U.S. State Department dissent memo from staff challenging official policy accuses Israel of war crimes. That's going around. Yo, who talking to you? Freaking Google over here listening to my conversation. Scale alone does not determine the status of military action, but when death and destruction are wreaked on such an immense scale, with so many civilian casualties, the insistence that this is a proportionate response becomes unsustainable. Bro, y'all got some nice SAT words.
Big facts.
Y'all got some nice SAT words for all that shit to be like, this shit is fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all need to freaking stop the bullshit. In Israel, you're good. Stop it. No more bombing. Ceasefire now. Get humanitarian aid in there. Get your special forces in there and go through those tunnels. You know, I saw this YouTube video a while ago about it was just some science. This is completely left field. Of like they took a barrel. Yeah. Like a barrel, right?
Yeah. Sure.
And they put this chemical in there and they mixed these chemicals and the foam exploded and it was just foam. And the foam went everywhere in their backyard and it covered like maybe 100 by 100 feet of foam. Go find out what the fuck they were used. Go into the tunnels and release that shit. Clog up the tunnels.
Yeah.
Use the special forces. Yeah. Go in there, clog up the goddamn tunnels. Oh, you're afraid to go in there because you don't know they're going left to right, whatever. You're killing Hamas? The people that's in the tunnels? It's probably going to be Hamas. I mean, could be hostages in there too. But you ain't give a fuck about hostages anyway. We know that. You've been bombing everywhere.
That's also true. Yeah, that's also true.
Go fill the tunnels with that foam. Yeah. And that's just my hypothetical. There's a bunch of other technology that I don't even know about that y'all could fucking do. Mm-hmm. So go in there, clog up them tunnels, unit by unit. Mm-hmm. Bombing and indiscriminate fucking shelling. It ain't doing what y'all think it's doing. Y'all just helping Hamas. Y'all just helping them recruit. Y'all helping build future martyrs. Y'all making martyrs. Yeah. In real time. And then you're lying to us. I don't know if you're lying to us, but you're telling me not to believe my eyes. Mm-hmm. Your numbers is changing one day to the next.
So in lighter news, actually, it's not lighter news. It's
also, fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's annoying. So you guys may have heard of something called shadow banning. And Darwin and I, we mentioned something earlier about like it hit different when it hit home.
It hit different when it hit home.
It hit different. So apparently it seemed to we put
it's
up
a real thing.
Yeah, it's a legitimate thing for sure. We put up a video. Darwin actually put up a video on TikTok. A few videos actually, and we started noticing that our views were like significantly declining. They weren't even shifting. Wasn't even moving. Like and there's like a cadence that we can see where the numbers rise and they may slow down and speed up again, but like we can see that people are actually viewing them, right? But these particular videos, it wasn't any movement at all, no traction at all. And
bro, and I did this one. It's the joint about so
yeah, it's joint about Gaza, and when we're talking about Gaza, and
we're talking about Gaza, and we've had other content like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have gotten some numbers, they've gotten some viewership, you know, and it's the same kind of joint, but it's like, what happened with this one?
Yeah. And I'm assuming that, and I actually thought about this for a while, and I'm thinking it was maybe there were certain keywords that was said that really triggered it. to really catch.
So what
it,
they
you know what I'm
listening
saying?
to the actual words I'm saying,
Yeah,
or they're looking
yeah.
at the captions
Yeah,
and like whatever the.
you'd be surprised. It's not only the caption, but like the words that are being used. Is certain keywords.
So the
that
algorithm
are,
is hearing the voices of the people speaking,
absolutely,
and picking up on
absolutely.
those words.
Absolutely. If you ever watch like some podcasts, they won't even use the word like the RAPE word. They'll
COVID.
say grape or they'll say corn instead
For
of, you know what I'm
what?
saying?
For
Like,
what?
they'll say corn instead of it starting with the P.
What is
Corn
that?
instead of saying PORN, they say corn. I'm so serious. This is a thing. I'm so serious. Yes. Yes. They don't even say RAP, they say grape. People say grape. Or they'll say like if they're talking about
They'll
like
say grape.
they'll say grape.
I
No
didn't
cap.
know this.
No cap. Like literally, like the algorithm is literally listening to specific keywords.
Oh
So
my
you can't
God.
even say like the SUICIDE word sometimes. You have to say
Oh wait, hold on, wait. I got it. Spell that too bad. SUI.
CIDE.
Oh,
So people would say delete. They'll use the word.
Ooh, damn,
Yeah,
we gonna have some shit.
Yeah.
We
And
ain't getting
that-
no views.
bro,
We ain't getting no views, bro. We can't monetize this.
and this is what I was saving all of this for this.
God.
I was saving all of this information for this specific
You
segment.
can't talk about no real shit.
bro. I'm telling you, it's that bad on YouTube, on TikTok, on. I'm not sure if it's like that way on Twitter. I doubt on Twitter. I highly doubt it.
Well,
but,
we're not on Twitter.
Yeah, but we're not really on Twitter on that. So, but like on IG, they
Oh my.
because IG's connected to like
this is
Facebook. There may be some of
dumb.
that. Yeah. So like.
Oh, you know
but,
what? You know what?
Yeah.
I was listening to one of the podcasts I follow, and he was, and the guy was saying how it's so messed. So he has segments where he's debunking. Matter of fact, we have a clip that's kind of they tagged one of our videos, and we'll see what I'm talking about in a second.
Okay.
Where he's debunking COVID myths, and they demonetized. It took down his video.
Yes, and YouTube will put a disclaimer underneath the video, like a tag.
Disclaimer.
Like,
We have the disclaimer.
We have one.
Ours.
We have one.
And we're
talking about mental health.
We focus on the science, and we talk about mental health.
We're talking about mental health. Yeah. So, so like,
oh, that's dumb.
I say all of this to mention this all right now in a second.
So,
it's really
dog.
This is why I keep.
We trying to get this message out there, man.
Bro, you can't really
us.
put real authentic information out anymore because it's all being censored and it's all being like.
So that's why people just do stuff like they're just dancing and not saying nothing.
Yeah. Or they'll play like a certain part of a video and they'll stop playing it, but they'll keep talking about the video. But the video will be like in pause. Like
that's so
it's
whack,
bro,
dog.
it's hard. So you really can't be like really authentic. This is why you see some people going into like apps like what is it called, Rumble or something like that, where larger conservatives are on there, but like radical conservatives, but people will go on like spaces like that because it's not as, or Patreon. That's a better one, like Patreon, so that you can actually talk.
But to
without,
do Patreon,
like,
you got to get
censorship.
people that want to.
But you got to get people that rock with you.
Stuff.
Yeah,
rock with you. Yeah.
But that's why Patreon is there, because you're not being censored there. So like, but like stuff like TikTok and YouTube. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, there's these damn people that do it at that bullshit. They be putting out that got us all in this mess.
Yeah.
They be putting out some crap like freaking the Alex Joneses and the freaking Rush Limbaughs and all these cats.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That
absolutely. So it's really because of people like them who did.
But you're using a grenade to kill a housefly.
Yes.
You're kidding it. You're killing everybody else who's putting out quality stuff, who's putting out debunking stuff, because you're trying to catch the Rush Limbaugh.
But it's easier. But it's easier to and word to what we were just talking about. It's easier to carpet bomb that bit rather than send people in there. So rather than fine tuning it and combing
rather
through
than fine tuning,
they're just like, we're just gonna carpet bomb this whole thing and like put this whole new standard out the whole entire platform, and whoever gets caught in the honey, it is what it is. You stuck. You stuck, man. You caught in it. You can't fly out of it.
But I put this video out. So back to this freaking video, like, man. So it's a short story, and I designed that joint. I produced it and edited specifically to hit on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're a YouTube show.
Yeah.
You know, most of all of our content is on YouTube. That's where you
Yeah.
can catch everything. At another challenge day, you go into the search bar, you do the @ symbol, another challenge day, and boom, our stuff shows up. You click videos and you see you click our shorts and stuff. We get a lot better numbers with our shorts. You know what I mean? Short and sweet stuff. But like TikTok allows you to post longer videos.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I designed this one specifically for TikTok because we had another video that like really like resonated with people. We got a lot of new followers from that. We got a lot of people sharing it and liking it, you know what I mean? And like really it resonated with the viewers.
Absolutely.
And so this was something of that same kind of like genre. And that shit just couldn't go. That shit was supposed to go. So I kept reposting it. I deleted it and reposted it. I'm like, no, man, you can't do this to me. This is like this one right here hit. And like I worked on that joint. And you know what I mean? And finally one time I think was that when you posted it? When I deleted it, I made you post it. I think you got up to like
when you probably reposted because even when I posted it, it was still like we still weren't getting any views on it because I was watching it. So maybe I don't know if you took it down again and posted.
I had took it down and I reposted it. Finally the
started,
algorithm skipped over us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it got some traction.
And it got some traction, yeah.
It's getting traction right away, right? And then it caught us again and just stopped. And it's been days, it's been stuck at that number. It's like, damn it. Like this was designed for TikTok. I'm like the fucking algorithm just ain't feeling it. And so the joint that happened. So we're like victims to the joint. We can't get our message out like we want to.
Yeah.
But some other stuff do.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what makes it confusing because it's kind of like, what is the algorithm really looking for? Then it's strange. But then when you start to see a commonality in some of these,
I thought it was a whole page. I thought it was a page.
No, it's really just certain words that are said that gets pinged more quickly than other words.
Because but the other video we put out, but for the vibes, that one stopped getting views. We usually get a certain amount of views for our vibes, and that one didn't get nowhere near there. So, but the one we posted after that got back to the regular numbers.
Yeah. So you know what I think
that's what made me think it was our channel.
Right. So you know what makes me think why that may have happened as well. And this is just a theory, but I think the algorithm has like a there may be like some residual effect where it can cause that from like close like videos that itself, because the page itself. So it might just have.
So I probably should, so what happened is because we waited several days after, let the freaking residual, let the eye of Sauron, fucking Lord of the Rings, like look away from us for a second. From me, so can I live? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give a second, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get back to my freaking post. Maybe that's what it was.
So what I wanted to do real quick is just kind of give everybody some game on this shadow ban, because I have an article here that kind of just gives you like a decent layout on like
shit. I need some game on it.
Exactly.
I need to do, this is bullshit. I put to work on that joint.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna try to go through this as quickly as possible, but I'm gonna try to be clear about it so that people can at least have an idea of how it happens, how to get rid of it, and all that stuff. So basically, a TikTok shadow ban. It's essentially a way for your videos, the visibility of your videos, it dwindles quite a bit significantly, right? So it limits the visibility of your account for a period. During this time, your videos won't show up on the For You page or in the hashtag searches, so people might not even be able to find your joint. Which is crazy. Some people have also experienced a shadow ban that often notice that their posts are even harder to find and they get fewer likes and comments, which is what we witnessed ourselves. And apparently there's 4 different types, right, on TikTok. There's the shadow ban, which we've been describing, right, where it's like they like in the background limiting your views and kind of like hating on you from the background, the TikTok algorithm. You have the temporary ban where like you probably can't post anything at all for like a period of time. You have an underage ban if you put in like some content that's like obviously inappropriate for underage folks, and you have a permanent ban, which is exactly what it sounds like you can't be on TikTok platform anymore. There are 4 main reasons why, which is pretty common as to why people get hit with like a TikTok shadow ban. Posting adult content, that's pretty obvious. It's salacious content, right? Reason 2, bullying or harassment. So that could be in the form of, obviously, it's going to be cyberbullying, right? So we all kind of know what that is, that, kind of hateful behavior, things of that nature. Copyright infringement, obviously using other people's stuff without their permission. That's clear cut there. And it could even be by accident, which is another annoying thing. Which could have been the case with the with the
Yep.
other one, right? It could have
Yep.
been just by accident because the automated system was just like hitting other videos just because we got hit with the first one, right? So it's like, you know, so and automated, and I noticed just being in tech, automation can fail. Like it can fail. So so
We're
I'm not giving them
relying
an
on the
excuse.
freaking AI
but-
to do all the damn work for us.
Exactly,
Nobody's
exactly.
freaking checking the work anymore.
Exactly, which is
So
why
we don't
you
want
need
to
humans.
freaking pay
anyways.
people. We don't want to give them the jobs to, you know what I mean, and pay them properly to do their job. So we replace folks with freaking machines.
Yeah, yeah.
And the
And you still
machines
gonna-
are indiscriminate.
right. Absolutely,
What
absolutely.
if there's AI involved in a decision for the bombing in Gaza?
Well,
I'm sorry, you were saying?
first of all, that would be wild. But we know that people are using AI for their
Hey.
legal defense.
Yeah.
So is it far reaching?
It may
I
not
don't know.
be. It may not be. So
It may not
crazy.
be. I don't know. So, word to pros. But anyways, so how to know your TikTok has been shadow banned? How do you? It is what it is.
They still went through with that concert. They said their concert, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, they were like, we gotta get this money somehow. So
baby.
they still went through it. So how do you know your TikTok has been shadow banned? Couple different things here. Your videos won't
Take
upload
some
normally,
notes here.
so you'll have like some issues. You have some issues with. You have like weird issues of like uploading your videos where like normally it's easy to upload it. It might take like a long time. It'll be stuck like in a processing stage for some weird reason. You're
Mhm.
like, well, I see my internet is fully connected. I don't have any issues here in my
Yep.
house. Why is it? So you'll kind of notice that it's like it's in this weird processing mode. A sharp drop in engagement where kind of like what Darwin and I discussed earlier, where like you're not really seeing traction as far as views, people interacting, things like that, right? Or your content is just isn't visible at all. Like it just doesn't show up in TikTok at all. People can't find it at all. So that's obviously a surefire way, right? So
No, some of the stuff that was like, shadow ban is other bullshit. Like some of the stuff, I'm not saying everything hits.
yeah,
Some of the stuff don't hit.
Mm.
But when it hit, it's like damn, that was supposed to be the one that hit. But like
yeah,
some of the other stuff, like
yeah. It's a lot of it is bad timing. No cap. Yeah.
Oh, that's such bad timing.
Yeah, because there's a lot of good content. Because there's definitely good. We always put out good content, but like specifically that joint that you worked on, that joint, it was it's quality content, and it's like to hit us with that, it's kind of
It's built specifically, especially like the length of time
Yeah.
and everything and all that stuff.
It was built
The-
for TikTok.
The imaging and everything that was built for freaking
Yeah,
TikTok,
the aspect ratio
bro.
and all that. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I peeped that too. When you uploaded it, and I was like, dang, that's kind of wild. So some of you may be wondering how long does a shadow ban actually last? For most people, it lasts around 2 weeks, right? Which is if you're like a person who like that's a crazy amount of time. Because say if you're like a person who's like a professional content creator who utilizes TikTok as like your main platform,
Yeah,
bro, you missed a paycheck.
that's a whole paycheck.
That's a whole paycheck. And typically these content platforms, they most of them pay monthly, but now you got half of your monthly paycheck is gone.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, so it would behoove you to really, really take this game seriously. Like what I'm pitching right now, what we trying to let y'all know about this.
I mean, we don't control our own platform, so
we just
gotta
share
fucking go by
Yeah,
go by their rules.
yeah, absolutely. It is what it is. Like we just have to you just have to, when you're in the game, you got to know how to play it. Like you just got to know how to play. Like you got to know the rules of the game. And know how to
valid.
stay under the radar. It is what it is. That's just what it is.
Trying to do. But like you want to put out good content, you want to put out quality content, you want to put out information. This is what we try to do here.
Yeah.
And like we're not just doing TikTok dances, man. We're not just bullshit.
We're
We're like people talking about dumb shit, man.
Yeah, it makes
educate
you
the people.
Yeah, it
trying
makes
to make better people.
That's a fact. It does make you question like what people really care about in life for real. Like it's like
man.
That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. So it's unfortunately that's just yeah.
So bro, we talked about the water crisis and water conflict.
Yes.
That was the whole Canal La Pap Compet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So hopefully folks that's coming across your timelines. We ain't get shadow banned for
Yeah.
that crap.
Yeah.
But a federal climate report shows that the U.S. is unlikely to meet national and international climate targets,
Mhm.
and all that's going to trickle down to more water problems.
Yep.
The fifth
And-
national climate assessment was released on Tuesday.
Yeah, and we're definitely gonna get into that much more later on. That climate change that's from what that's a serious concern. But we're definitely gonna get into that pretty soon here. Just to kind of round this off, y'all. So how long does it last? Like I was saying before, 2 weeks, right? And to just round this off, it's ended. How do you remove flagged content? Because that's essentially what happens. Your content is being flagged. That's why it's shadow banned. Just remove things that show violence, hate, illegal activity, self-harm, harassment, nudity. And
The list is probably so
but it's very
freaking
vague.
long.
Yeah, it's very
Who's to
vague
know
in some
what
of those things.
fucking like for our video, what was wrong? What did we do wrong?
Yeah. And I think a lot of it is also up to interpretation too. So it's like it's kind of like yeah, you can say that, but part of it is also like
okay. So how about
interpretation.
this? We're gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real.
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep it real. Would this get freaking shadow banned too? Who knows? The content that we're talking about is like when we talk about this whole Gaza conflict,
Mhm.
and you mention Gaza in your caption,
Mhm.
or you mention Palestinian in your caption, regardless of what it is you're saying, if you're not listening to in full context, that stuff is being extra scrutinized.
Yes.
Right. And so it was weird that particular video, which has a lot of nuance in it, because everything that we do here is walking and chewing gum at the same time.
Yep.
Has a lot of nuance on it, but it was talking about the issue in Gaza. And it didn't paint Zionists in the best light.
Yep.
So did it get like, I'm like, did it, I can't help but think, like, is that the reason why it got shadow banned?
It's hard to say. That's the confusion about the shadow ban. It's like, what is actually triggering it? Like, you can only make approximations, but it's hard to exactly pinpoint what the exact reason is. That is the problem with the whole shadow banning thing. Like, you can only make a conclusion here and there just based on like some patterns.
I can see
and
some
make
people
but
seeing that kind of thing, building a pattern for them, and be like, oh, so I can't criticize the IDF or the Israeli government at all.
And clearly this whole shadow banning thing is clearly a policy that's constantly evolving. Because just like how you just mentioned, there are videos that we have that we talked about this, but then the more recent videos we have, now they're being shadow banned. Like, so it's obviously evolving. So
that things that make you go, but like, bro, you're telling me again not to believe my eyes. I've had this content. I could go through my own content timeline and look at all my videos and see the views and all that kind of stuff, and my likes and the engagement. And then I go to this video, this thing happens. But I'm not supposed to believe my eyes that it feels like being censored.
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. That's
it's
what it
giving
like.
censored.
Big facts.
What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I gotta give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button, because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe, so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too. We talked about the water crisis and water conflicts. This was the video and conversation we had about the canal in Haiti, between the DR and Haiti. And title Canal Pa Campe, go check out the show notes. There should be a link there. Also, it's you look for the thumbnail. Straight up, it just says Canal Pa Campe. So all my Haitian folks out there, it's a conversation that you definitely can relate to.
Mhm.
We got some Haitian music playing in there, and they're put out a particular message. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
And so they're not being shy about it.
Mhm.
But the overall theme of that spot was about um water in general in the world, and how like all kinds of conflicts stem from
Yeah.
that thing. And water being a contentious issue is going to become more of a problem as we go on because of climate change.
Mhm.
So a major federal climate report shows that the U.S. is unlikely to meet national or international climate targets. I'm gonna say,
Hmm.
duh. We ain't do no major changes since all these freaking
Not at all.
climate accords and all this kind of crap we've been doing.
Mhm.
And it's got to be global. It's got to be global. It don't matter what California does with this freaking emissions testing and freaking carbon capture and all these freaking things they put in place to try to, yeah, okay, maybe they might have less wildfires there specifically,
Mhm.
but the overall climate don't give a damn about what California is doing specifically. They don't give a damn about the U.S. is doing specifically. It's a global effort for any of this stuff to make even what's that word? Myota? What's that word?
Um.
Uh,
ID.
iota.
Okay.
to make an iota of difference. I don't know
Mhm.
why I put an M on the end of that joint. So it's
Were
the
you thinking
fifth.
of, were you thinking of myopic or something like that? Or
I don't know. I have to think about that and see where the
Okay.
hell I was going. I was mixing up two words.
Mhm.
Probably. But the the assessment is the fifth national climate assessment.
Mhm.
It was released last Tuesday. It finds that the planet is very likely to heat up by an average of 4.5, 7.2 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's 2.5 to 4 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial times. It's outpacing the goals of both the U.S. and the international community. No doy. Again, it's going to take the entire international community to commit at the same time, because we got freaking wildfires in Canada that got me wearing a mask in DC because the air quality is bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
In Canada, I could
In
even
Canada,
smell
yep.
the burning wood.
Mm,
I'm
absolutely.
I'm in
Did-
DC.
let me ask you a question. Did you experience that today?
Not today.
Not today.
No, not
Okay.
today, not today.
Okay. No, the only reason I asked this is because I was out somewhere, and I smelled a weird. It was like a weird. Maybe where I was at, it was like a weird odor, and I was just curious.
Were you
If that
by
was
a
something that you
water
experienced.
treatment facility by any chance?
Probably water treatment facility
Is that
that
what you put in
that was
place? Bruh.
that I wasn't even aware
It
of
will
was
get on
around.
your skin and it's hard. You gotta take a
Yeah.
bath when you get home.
What is that?
Right in this
That's
joint.
probably what it was. Yeah. But
But
go
here's the
ahead.
thing.
That's neither here
But
nor
here's
there.
the thing with the Canada
But
wildfires.
I do recall that though. That time when like they were actually showing footage.
But
of
here's
that,
the
like,
thing with the Canada wildfires is
yeah.
that let's say it's been, we call it fire season. Right?
That's crazy.
Let's say we call it fire season between July 1, July 31st.
Yeah.
Right? Fire season.
Mhm.
That's going to be the hottest, whatever. That's going to be the
Mhm.
driest.
Mhm.
That's rain. So more likely fires are going to happen during then.
Mhm.
You're not putting it together, people. When we talk about climate change, it's talking about situations that we're having currently becoming exponentially worse.
Yes.
So what used to last, let's call hypothetically fire season from July 1 to July 31st, it's not going to be August 15th. And then September 1st. So now your fire season is 2 months long.
Mhm.
It's drier for longer. It's windier for longer. It's more drought for longer. There's less rainfall for this until October 1st. How about that? Oh, how about it starts earlier? June.
Yeah.
So now you only have 1 month to be concerned about wearing a freaking mask in the damn street because of the air quality. It's 2 months. It's 3 months. So where you like, you know what? Let me go south for the winter or go south for the summer or somewhere during the fire season for the 1 month. No, you better pick up that second mortgage because you have to be going for a lot longer.
Yeah.
Because the fire season expands. And that's just the freaking fire.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about just the freaking water before. every situation that we have that's climate detailed or climate related is exponentially. We had several days of 100 degrees. We were keeping record. Remember,
Yeah,
30 days in Death
Arizona,
Valley.
That was insane, bro.
Imagine it being
That was
60 days.
insane.
Imagine it being
Man.
6 months out of the year where the sidewalk is 100 degrees at 10 o'clock at night. 6 months out of the year. There are planets. I think on Mars is like this, where the daytime, you can't go out. Even if we terraform Mars, we have to stay on the shadow side. We can only go out during the night because it gets so hot. Imagine Texas, which people have said, they're like, man, we just don't go outside. In the summer, we just do not go outside.
Yeah, I mentioned this before.
You
like
go from your house to your car to the building. You don't go out, you don't walk nowhere.
Big facts. I mentioned that. I'm not sure if you recall. I mentioned that some time ago. Like my colleague, like during the summer months, he goes up to Colorado. He's like, I stay in Colorado for like 3 or 4 months. He was like, I couldn't do it.
You just can't.
Yeah, and he lives in Texas. Yeah, he literally goes.
Niggas
to
is already mitigating for it.
Yeah, facts.
What are we doing?
Facts.
What are we doing?
Facts.
The report listed consequences all around the country, noting that at this level of warming, the Southeast will see 6 more days of 100 degree Fahrenheit each year, and the Midwest will see 10 more days over 95 degrees.
That is egregious.
And then it's going to become 15 more days. Some point, 30 more days.
So you're saying
it's going to become more and more time that we can't go outside.
So you're saying that the trajectory looks like there are going to be places that are going to be
inhabitable. I saw a commercial the other day. Matter of fact, maybe I can find it on YouTube and we can put it right here. Buffalo, New York, Buffalo is marketing itself as a climate refuge. They're embracing the shit and saying, hey, you're in Texas, you're in Louisiana.
They are low-key geographically in a good spot.
If your planet is burning down, I say yeah.
They are like in a good spot.
It's not like they're causing it specifically. Yeah. They're part of it. We're all part of it. But they see the writing on the wall. They might even see that there's nothing we're going to do about it. Not that we can't do nothing about it, but that we're not going to do it. Just like this freaking gun violence.
But bro, you know, but
shit
bro,
about that?
You know what it is. There's always money to be made in chaos, bro. There's always money to be made in chaos.
Either you're making the money off of it, or you're just a victim of it.
Or you're just a victim. Yeah, big facts. Big facts.
There's a lot of billionaires that made extra billions during COVID.
Oh my goodness.
That made extra billions. They weren't they weren't even thinking about that extra billion. Absolutely. And they made they're like, oh yeah, I make a couple million. I make a couple $100 million off them casually every year. Oh, a whole billion? Because everything funneled to them. Yeah. Somehow, some way, you're gonna make, or you become a victim, aka all the people that died of COVID. Yeah. It said that further warming will create more risk for the nation's water supply. Sound familiar? Food security, infrastructure, health, ecosystems, and economy. For example, climate change is expected to make food less available and more expensive as high temperatures reduce crop yields and introduce disease, while droughts and wildfires may threaten water supplies and put more heat stress on livestock. Good luck.
Another news. Talk a little bit of sports. So there's a lot that could be said about what's been going on in the sports world now, but it's a couple of things that actually
NCAA started too, right?
Yeah, NCAA.
College basketball?
Yeah. Yes, it has. It has. I honestly haven't really been following it much. I mean, the blue blood schools had like their little classics in the beginning of the season. What is it? Kansas, Michigan State, Duke, Kentucky. They usually always have this classic that they play in, just kind of hype up the college season, whatever. And all those teams have been doing their thing, but I haven't really been following it like that. I kind of been following some of more of the interesting stories, like what's been happening in Colorado specifically, where
Dion,
where Dion is at. Yep, and they've been losing. I think they lost 6 straight now at this point.
Oh, really? They lost last week?
Yeah, they lost last week. Yeah, and they got smacked by Washington State. I mean, smacked. I think it was 56-14 or something like that. And Washington State, what made it even worse is that Washington State was also 4-6, and they smacked them 56 to 14 or something like that. It was like around that score. Yeah, it was.
Oh, they took out TCU. TCU got to really be filled. What is TCU ranked now? What have happened to them? What was their season like?
So they actually ended up having like basically a subpar season. So the TCU team that came in ranked wasn't really that. So if you look at their record, it's better than Colorado's, but it wasn't as good of a. They're not as good as people thought they would have been this season. We can actually look up their record now to see what's
TCU. Yeah, those TCU record standings.
They definitely can't be ranked. I'm pretty sure
they are 5-6.
Yeah. So they turned out to be a team that probably should not have been ranked this season.
6 losses. Dang.
Yeah.
Somebody should lose their job for that bullshit ass ranking preseason.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Texas 10-1.
Texas definitely.
Are they ranked? What's Texas ranked right now? Texas is ranked 7th.
They 7th though. So they probably started off as 25th.
Behind Oregon, who's also 10-1.
Yes.
So all the undefeated squads. I mean, there's Liberty University, which is ranked 22,
which is crazy, right?
It's undefeated at 11-0. But who the fuck they play?
Exactly, and that's what it is. Like, who are they playing? Like, you got Tulane.
Bowling Green.
And it's like,
you're playing Bowling Green. You're playing
JMU. Like, okay.
They washed FIU 38-6. My chest. Kicked them in the chest. 38-6. They beat Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Oh no, they lost. They lost to Virginia Tech by 1 point. Which
school is that?
That's my bad. That's last year. 11-0. That's last year. So I went too far back. Yeah.
Which school are you referring to right now?
I'm still talking about Liberty.
Liberty? Okay. So Liberty
still
right
talking
now
about
is
Liberty.
11-0.
11-0.
And I'm actually looking at, let me look at their
freaking Liberty University. It's one of them damn Christian universities joint, man.
Yeah.
Liberty University. It's freaking right-wing Christian joint. It's not even freaking actual true, or who knows what the hell barometer they're using to be what Christian what faction they talking about.
But I'm looking at the schools too. Like, I'm like, let me see. Friday, December 1st.
UMass,
LA Tech,
Middle Tennessee.
I'm like, okay, UAB. Like, it's a bunch of teams that are.
But wouldn't you feel some type of way though if you go to Liberty and, like, let's say you're 12-0, 13-0, or something, whatever it is at the end of the season, and like you don't make the top 6?
No, because they're a mid-major school who are playing other mid-majors, and they're not really playing anybody like that.
Yeah, but why didn't put them in ranking? Why even put them in ranking?
To make them feel good.
To make them feel good. Oh my god.
I don't know. So to award the fact that they're 11-0, so we're gonna award you with a ranking.
Yeah, I need to give them a different ranking. Mid-major ranking.
Yeah.
Give them a mid-major ranking. Don't put them in the overall. Like with everybody else.
That would be interesting.
Real schools.
That would be interesting.
That's right. I said that with real schools. Fuck out of here, Liberty.
I mean, well, technically there are 2 polls, right?
Liberty
there's the
University.
AP top 25, and then there's the college coaches top 25 poll. But the poll that people really respect is the AP top 25, which is the Associated Press. That's the one that people.
Okay, what else is going on? So that's college football. What else is?
So with college football, so Colorado, right? I was talking about Colorado before. So Shedeur Sanders, quarterback for Colorado, he actually ended up leaving the game from an injury. what's been the glaring issue that's been going on with Colorado specifically, is they have a terrible O line. Like it's horrendous. He
I
has.
saw that Dion was talking shit about his O-line,
Yeah, they're terrible.
which
They're terrible.
these kids, confidence wise, it's like
Yeah,
kind of.
he definitely has a certain way of really getting their attention. That's the way that I kind of see it, just because I've followed Dion for a long time. He has a certain way of saying certain things where like he's just trying to. You can tell he's trying to get their attention. And he's old school. Old school folks, man. They tend to just put you on
Man,
blast.
all coaches are old.
Yeah,
school.
but like but there are coaches that are like that try to be hip, but then you have coaches that are like really from that cloth, right? Where they're like really old school for like like coaches that are just like like so. But it's terrible. Like his son has been probably, I think he's the most sacked of all quarterbacks in college football. Like he's been
that boy getting punished.
Yeah, he definitely get punished. He actually ended up injuring his throwing arm, so that's not good news.
Damn.
But Shador, the way that he's been playing, though, he's been playing like a Heisman candidate. Like he has been playing that way, regardless of a
can't be
line.
considered. Yeah, with all those outcomes, you can't be considered. You're not going to be Heisman. Contention with that record.
Yeah, that's true. Even if he had like wild, he has really good numbers. He has like Heisman level numbers. But even if he had even more than what he has as far as stats, you got to win. Yeah, your team got to at least look pretty good. At least make a bowl game. Like this team can't even make a bowl game, so they're 4-7 now. Washington State, another trash team, beat them, and it's just,
snap! Do they have any more games left? How many total games?
No, they got one more game left, and they play.
Oh
Utah.
snap! They're not gonna be bowl
next
eligible.
week. Yeah, and Utah is like that.
Utah is on that mess. So
yeah, Utah's like that. So that might be another L next week. But this is the silver lining though about all of this with Colorado. They had a better season. This season was better than last season. They were 1-11 last season.
Okay.
They won 4 games this season. So it's progress.
Progress.
And not only that, like
can't stop progress.
You can't stop progress, but also like people weren't really expecting Colorado to really like
light
crazy
it up
in the pack. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we expect them to be a little better, but like we didn't expect them to be like, oh, they're going 10-2. Like we weren't expecting that. We weren't expecting that. However, our expectations are absolutely higher next season though. So
from 4 games to making a bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. Because now you're gonna have you had a whole season as Coach Brown. You had a whole season to really fill out.
You got the freaking trade, what do you call it, the exchange portal, transfer portal,
transfer portal, and now you're gonna have a whole. You're also gonna have like a whole season where you're able to like actually recruit players from the Pac-12 now because they see
what you did. They saw that you beat TCU.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? They see that you beat Nebraska.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, now he's gonna be dealing with a whole different ball game as far as like competing in the Pac-12, which is like legit conference. So so that's really the silver lining where it's like, hey, we see what it is, we see the layout of the land, so now we can really try to like maneuver and turn up for the next season. So I'm actually personally looking forward to seeing how Colorado looks next season with Prime having this season under his belt. And so another thing that I wanted to kind of like give people a little bit of a catching up on is like the in-season tournament that's been going on in the NBA.
I'm still not 100% with this format because I feel like there some, because I know that there's some courts that have this like crazy design on it. But then I see other courts that look like regular courts. So are some of those games that I'm seeing on TV not part of the tournament, but some of them are part of the tournament?
So the thing is, all the teams are part of the tournament. It's just, I think what's happening,
but not every game they play is a tournament game.
That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like, right? But these games are being counted as that because I'm looking at like they actually have like records, like actual separate records for the in-season tournament. And there are actual like MVP races for the in-season. Yeah. Which is what I'm about to get into right now. So, the guy that's been going crazy is Tyler Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton, from the Pacers. And anyone that knows hooping, like they know he's been going crazy. So he's been going crazy. He's been hooping for sure. 25 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 14 assists per game, and 2 steals per game. So he's been going crazy. He's number one in MVP race. You got Domantas Sabonis.
They got a. Come on, man.
I'm trying to
We're
tell
just
you,
giving
but
out
they-
trophies to everybody.
Yeah.
Not for anything. Come on, dog.
But they making people compete though. That's the thing. When you give players something to compete for, they're gonna really compete. And that's the one thing I will say.
This nigga about to get in-season tournament. This nigga about to get. This is what's about to happen. This is what's about to happen. This is about to get in-season tournament MVP, and the Pacers ain't even gonna make the fucking playoff.
But you know what? Low key though, the Pacers actually. Let me see the.
That's what's gonna happen. That's what happened before.
As far as the in-season standings go, the Pacers are, I believe they're number one in their group. I mean, it's only like 3. I think they played like 3
in their group. But for the tournament, you mean?
Yeah, for the tournament. So they're 2-0, right? But for like the standings as far as like the whole like the regular season, let's take a look at this right now. I think the Pacers have been playing pretty good basketball though. So if I'm looking at the whole season, the regular season right now, Eastern Conference,
Which
the Pacers,
only thing that matters when we talking about rings. When we talk about rings 10 years from now, 15 years from now, ain't nobody counting the goddamn ring you got from the in-season tournament. Ain't nobody counting that joint, LeBron.
It's definitely regular season.
We're looking at you.
So the Pacers is ranked. The Pacers number 7 right now in the East. That's solid. That's solid.
Okay.
That's a solid Pacers team.
It's cute.
It's cute. Well, because the Heat is number 4. It's cute because the Heat is number 4.
As usual.
Wow.
As usual.
Yeah,
it could be but you can't be 7 because what's gonna happen is you're gonna drop like a slot or 2. So if you hover around 7, 8, you drop 9, you're not gonna make the playoffs, bro.
I mean, the East does.
You're gonna have to do the playing. You have to do the playing.
That's true because the playing is still something that's present.
That's okay. So that's a whole nother tournament though.
Yeah,
legit
playing.
It is. They just do tournaments. Oh my god.
It is. But you know,
man.
But this is the motivation behind all of this. They want players to compete every night.
That's niggas not competing. When was niggas not competing?
I'll be honest.
You know how many people Draymond Green kicked in the balls? You think he's just doing that on a casual Tuesday?
But I'm gonna tell you this though. NBA basketball is much more competitive after the All-Star break. And the guys in the league offices, they peep that.
And you got the All-Star break. Yo.
So this is what I'm gonna say. So
it's like a bunch of side quests.
yeah, a lot of it is actually.
You got a bunch of side quests, dog.
You're right.
Just to see what come on, man.
So the league officers, they peep that, which is why they came up with the in-season tournament. To like, these guys really turn up in the second half of the season. We want them to turn up in the first half too. So we're gonna create something to incentivize them to like, okay, let's compete because
whatever.
Tournament, you win money too. So
whatever,
like,
dog. They could package it however the hell they want. Fine,
it's working though.
I'm not buying into the packaging personally. That's what I'm saying.
I got you.
I'm gonna watch basketball because basketball on TV.
Sure.
And it's on TV. I don't know what the fuck I'm watching in terms of tournament or regular season or not. I'm like, oh, professional basketball is being played. I'm finna watch it. I you know what I mean? Like that's it.
Yeah.
Even if it was freaking like international balls, if it's on TV, if not something competing with it like tennis or something like that, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
You adding all this extra sauce on it. I don't know. Are y'all polling the audience? Are you asking regular people?
Man,
Jeff, did you need an in-season tournament for you to continue watching NBA?
I did not.
You was gonna stop watching because they didn't have an in-season tournament because
I love basketball. I love basketball. I'm gonna watch it regardless.
Oh, man, I'm gonna watch it regardless. Even the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Who cares if it's not super competitive? It's an event. People fly into states wherever it's gonna be at. They turn up the economy wherever it's at.
That's a fact. It's a fact.
It's like Coachella.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the damn game. They go to the after parties. They go to the restaurants.
Yeah.
They go meet celebrities and stuff like that. They network, all that kind of stuff. Like, oh, you needed to mean something. So we have the guys picking the teams and all stuff. Y'all doing too much. Y'all thinking too hard about this joint.
But I will say though, the guys, they've been competing. They've really been competing. Like a lot of guys been going crazy.
You talking about the All-Star game?
No, I'm talking about for the in-season tournament. It's noticeable that the level of competition
the thing that they got them with that, the thing that they did was clever. We pointed this out last time is that they made it count towards their regular season record.
Yeah.
So
they care about it. So people care about it for sure. Don't care about it.
All right, I guess.
So with that being said, and honestly, to round that off, just want to name a few guys, of course. So Tyrese Halliburton, Domantas Sabonis, the big from Sacramento Kings, LeBron James. Those are the top three guys who are like in this MVP race for in-season tournament. So LeBron is always doing work. Domantas Sabonis, double machine. You got Cat at number 4 and Nikola Jokic, the Joker.
Jokic.
At number 5. This guy's averaging 30, 15, and 12.
Didn't
crazy.
30, 15, 12 already?
30, 15, and 12 in this in-season tournament. 30 points, 15 rebounds per game, and 12 assists per game. Crazy. And he's shooting 91% for the free throw. So Joker is going crazy. So
Lakers is number 7 in the West. Yeah. But like they're number 1 in the freaking tournament joint.
Yeah,
the 3-0 in the tournament joint.
Yeah, in the tournament seeding, they're number 1. Yeah.
Number 7. Well, you're not even gonna make it out the West, man.
No, I think if the Lakers keep playing the kind of basketball they've been playing, they can.
LeBron's too old. He can't do it.
I don't know, man. That man is
and
playing
AD,
like
and AD used to be like you could look at him and you would think he was a threat, but then you met Embiid, and then you met what's this guy freaking Giannis.
Giannis, yeah.
And then it's like Anthony Davis is like he's serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis is serviceable.
He is
nice.
He is always a concern. Yeah, he's always concerned.
Get out of here, man.
Yeah.
So like him, I really thought when I first saw LeBron and AD, I was like
on paper,
clutching pearls. On paper,
it was monstrous. Yeah, it was insane. But yeah,
nobody in the West is concerned about that line. With LeBron, even at his age, and yeah, he's still healthy. Mm-hmm. But he ain't the same LeBron.
Listen, if you got LeBron on your team, you always got a chance. That's how I feel about it. And
how's that been working out? How's that been working out since after the freaking the goddamn COVID? What was that one? The bubble?
The last championship was the bubble. But they made the playoffs. Last year. They're likely gonna make the playoffs again this year.
You can make the playoffs in the NBA. This is why I'm saying the Pacers is not good because anybody can make the playoffs. The Pacers ain't gonna make the playoffs. That's so Lakers making the playoffs in the NBA is like not really. And then they got swept. Didn't we sweep them? They
got swept. But I will say though, I still don't think people should sleep on them though. If they get it together, people still don't.
If they get it together,
because that
white boy hooping.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Young boys hooping. So I mean, with all that being said, man, this is a tournament. I think that people should still look into it because it is a lot of competitive basketball that's actually happening. They got these little different things to kind of incentivize players to play. But if you're a hooper and you love hooping, you're gonna enjoy it. I mean, it is what it is. Like you still it's still basketball. Just still, don't put too much thought into like this whole in season, the brackets and how it's laid out and all this stuff. And it's basketball. If you enjoy basketball, you're gonna watch it. So
all right.
That's
I'm watching. I turn on my TV, whatever they put on in front of me, I'm just gonna watch.
Yeah, if it's all, just watch it. If it's all, just watch. If it's not,
I'll tell you what though. I will pivoting from that. I woke up at freaking 8 o'clock in the goddamn morning to go watch this damn Dolphins game. They played in Europe. They played in Germany, and they lost to Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
I will never go out. Go damn being they freaking lost to freaking Kansas City Chiefs, but they won today.
They did.
They won today. They barely won. They're not looking. They won, and they're ahead in the AFC East. Which is the spot that Patriots usually have. Patriots is trash.
Oh yeah, they done.
But it's like they barely won today, and they were playing. Who the hell they were playing? Fucking trash ass squad. They're playing. They're playing Raiders.
They're playing the Raiders. Okay.
They're playing the Raiders. Raiders was 4-5. Raiders was 5-5.
Okay, so
now they're 5-6.
500. Okay.
Yeah, so they're 5-6 now because the Dolphins just whooped them today. But like, they ain't whoop them. Dolphins won by 1 point, bro. I kept on refreshing the damn game, and it was like 4 minutes left, and like the Dolphins had the ball.
I'm looking at the record. It's 20. They beat them 20-13.
Yeah, so a touchdown.
By a touchdown, yeah.
A touchdown. But look, Raiders had. So I got into the game, and it was like 4 minutes left. And Dolphins was up by a touchdown like this. And mind you, see the fourth quarter, they ain't scored. Nobody scored anything. Having the field goal. And I'm like, oh. And Dolphin has the ball. 4 minutes left. Okay, cool. Go away, come back. Vegas has the damn ball. 2 minutes left at the Miami 39. What the hell y'all doing?
That's probably a problem they've had quite a bit. They can't finish games.
They can't
They
finish
can't finish
games.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Gators. Ramsey. They threw it, Vegas threw the ball up, and your boy. That's all that man. How many? Bro, I need him to like cover like he was doing back in Florida. You know what I mean? And I think the first game he played with the Dolphins, he got an interception. I think was that the first game, very first game play, and then
the first game he came back.
Yeah, then he was injured, but like he it was a game-winning interception. He had a game-winning interception. There was like maybe like 20 something left time left on the clock. So the Dolphins are still doing straight. They holding it down. But other than that, the NFL, I mean, I really don't follow. I don't know what else is really going on with that.
Yeah, I've only really been following like my team. We lost to San Fran, but San Fran is one of the better teams in the league right now. So I'm not too upset about it, but I'm a little upset about it because it's getting to that time in the NFL schedule where like you're starting to solidify like you at least getting to the playoffs or like making a run for like the wild card at the very least. And we're like under 500, and we started off the season well, and then we just started losing like four.
So I mean, it's not that.
We still got a lot of games. We still got
like
some
time, but it's kind of rough. Let's see. So there's the Colts. I mean, that could be a win. The Panthers should be a win.
Yeah, they should be a win. Yes.
The Falcons can be hit or miss.
That's gonna be competitive because we've been competing because they're at the top of our division right now. And we've been kind of going. We lost to them early in the season, so.
Yeah, so usually you could count on your splitting.
Yeah.
With your division rival, so maybe you win that. The Packers, that could be a win, but the Jaguars, y'all not gonna win that.
Yeah, the Jaguars. You're
not gonna win that. They've been balling. Saints, and then you play the Panthers again. So maybe you get 2-0 against the Panthers, Colts. So 3, maybe 4 games out of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you maybe go 4-3. So that will put you at what? 9 and something.
If it's it'll put us at 9 and 7.
9 and
7? 9 and 8. 9 and 8, sorry, 9 and 8, because it's 17 games now. So it'll put us at 9 and 8, which would qualify us for a wild card. Like we'd be able to play for a wild card game.
It depends on what everybody else is doing, but that could be.
That too. Yeah.
That could be because only 2 coming out the NFC for a wild card.
Yeah. And we got, I'm looking at, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dang, that division is so bad.
Yeah, our division is bad this year.
You can legit win the division.
Yeah, our division is pretty bad this year.
The Saints are leading at 5-5.
Yeah. Our division
You're 1 game behind.
The most competitive division is AFC North. We're like the Ravens and the Browns and Bengals. That's the most competitive division. Our division is pretty bad. So we got 7 games left. So we definitely could make a run. We just have to make sure we win at least 3.
Oh no, but like didn't the Bengals quarterback get injured?
He did.
Burrow?
Burrow. Yeah, he got injured.
So that's it was competitive. You're right. They were all game apart.
Yeah.
From switching spots and like that. But like and freaking Browns won 3 in a row. The damn Browns.
Yeah, the Browns. Yeah. The quarterback actually Dobbs, he actually been playing pretty well. So he's been doing his thing. So he's been definitely carrying them for a little bit. Sure.
Okay. Anything else going on in sports world?
Nah, nothing.
Sports ball.
Yeah.
Sports.
Nothing else really too noteworthy. That's about it. Other than I will say there's one more thing. I'm gonna make this real quick. Your girl Angel Reese, she's wilding. She was from what I've been hearing, apparently she's been suspended for the team because of academic reasons. Let that sink in.
No, she's getting
the Clout. Clout got to her head.
Clout. No.
So she's been suspended for the team. So just keep an eye on that, y'all.
She's like the face of LSU.
Yep.
Basketball, women's basketball.
Yep.
All kinds of freaking promotions and sponsorships and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. And there's been some comments that she's made herself that lets you know that the Clout really started against her head. Like legit. Like stuff that came out of her own mouth. So just monitor that for a bit.
Like, I mean, come on, NCAA.
Yeah.
Academic reasons. You give a fuck. Come on. Yeah, real.
That's a fair point.
Do you know?
That's a fair point. But
I'm reading this Arthur Ashe book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And man, this is an old book. This is I don't know if this is the second of his book. Was it the first book? I don't remember exactly. But he was going in on, because when he wrote this book, this was like in the 80s, and this is like when the whole thing started with academic criteria for athletes. And he's going over like the debate that was happening around that time. And I'm reading it now, in historical perspective of how some people were like, oh, this is targeting the black athlete, you know what I mean? You got to get him to get these grades kind of thing. And Arthur Ashe was kind of like, yeah, we should want higher academic standards.
Absolutely.
For our athletes and stuff. And they're like, okay, well, what are the standards of how they're learning and how these things are being, so, it goes deep, and it's like, it really makes you kind of think of what was the perspectives at the time. You know what I mean? And here we are, where we have this star athlete, who's making professional money, because the different changes,
she got NIL deals and all that too.
Yeah, because of the different deals now that they can have, but she can't play because those academic standards come creeping up. And I think when we was in school, it was like what 2.5 is what they said minimum 2.0. We had to have 2.0. 2.0. It's minimum we had to be able to play football, basketball, track. We had to have that 2.0, which is pretty low of a standard.
Yeah, it's not it's a pretty easy standard.
Is this 2.0 in college?
2.0 in college as well, yeah. So that's like, come on, Angel, come on.
Because
Angel
the thing is, like, y'all paying these people they're amateur professionals. They're amateur professionals. They're getting paid money now. They get paid money now. They're getting sponsorships.
Sure.
So it's like,
bro, you can get tutors, man. You can get tutors. There's no excuse. There's nothing you can say that can convince me otherwise.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying how like maybe she just declares for the league. Play when you're 17, LeBron and Durant and them.
You know what? I'm not actually sure what the stipulations are with the WNBA. I'm not sure if it's the same like the NBA. I would assume that it is. But I'm not sure if it's like a little bit different.
Just declare for league. Go be if you don't want to. If you want to pass the math class, like professionals could not, pass those classes. Whatever, they went straight pro.
Yeah,
They did 2 years. They did 2 years at Kentucky playing basketball, the men's side, or UNC or something like that, and they bounced.
Or they did a year and they got up out of there.
Did a year.
You're right.
One and done.
You're right. And if we keep it real, a lot of those guys, they didn't really do their work. They had tutors that were low-key doing their work.
And this is what I'm saying. Also, like, yo, where's your come on?
They had people on the side that was.
I'm like, NCAA does not really care like that. So why NCAA going down her neck like that? B, why she ain't find a way around? Why the team ain't find a way to get her around that bullshit?
The team they slipping, bro. They could have found a way. They could have found a way around.
They ain't found like, come on.
They could have got it right, but
I can't remember the last time I heard some academic standard.
Yeah.
It's what stop it.
When I thought about it, I was like, Angel, you could have finessed that situation a little bit better.
All of y'all could have finessed that joint.
We
could be talking about back-to-back championships right now.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what it is right now. So,
and I'm not condoning not getting an education.
No, we're not, but we know what it is.
I know what the game is.
Yeah, we know what it is. Yeah.
Stop playing.
Keep it real. So challenge day wouldn't be challenge day without challenges to talk about. Darwin, what you got for us? What is the challenge that you have been able to address this week or prior week?
I want to talk about a recurrent theme amongst others that we have on the show, mental health. Man, the VA fucking sucks when it comes to mental health. I specifically want to target the conversation around veterans, right? So this is a platform for highlighting the plight of veterans trying to get mental health services. And the VA is good at there's a lot of things the VA has been maligned, quite unfairly, I would say. But the VA is good as a lot of stuff, but there is like one specific thing, like mental health services. No, sir. Do not rely on the because that joke is crazy, convoluted, underfunded, under-resourced. I'm a person. I've been diagnosed with PTSD through the military, and my level of PTSD, or I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know if that's how you would describe it or talk about it in terms of levels like that. But I'm not as dysfunctional or hold on, I have to do something. This fucking light is just Jesus Christ. This thing is like yeah. So it's not like I'm the part of the debilitated crowd that suffers from PTSD, right? There's levels to this shit. So at my level of coherence and savviness and tech savviness and knowing how to navigate institutions, I still can't even access the service how I need to. Imagine somebody who's having like crisis.
Yeah.
It's bad. There's been there's this study, several studies been done over the years of this, but this specific one I want to point out from America's Warrior Partnership, Operation Deep Dive. The conclusion of it all, about 24 former service members per day die by suicide. So this is determined by coroner or a medical examiner.
Okay.
Compared to 2014, 2018, that number was 17, which is still wow. Per day. You heard me that part when I said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Per day. So they a former service member, FSM, you're talking about one suicide and self-injury mortality study encompassing 8 states and 5 years of data corroborated by the DoD. It indicates that FSMs, former service members, take their own lives each year at a rate 2.4 times the national average.
It is absurd.
So we also know that the homeless population
that too
is disproportionately populated by veterans.
Yeah.
They've in their studies, they also find that people that have served in the military tend to, and so this is people that serve like, and this they specifically defining to be scientifically accurate, is that when you serve the short time in the military, apparently, that you're more likely to commit suicide.
When you serve a short time?
Yeah. So like
I don't understand.
Folks that have served for like 10, 15, 20 years are, yes, they're still falling into this demographic with people that they still have a certain percentage of them that commit suicide. But like if you only serve for like 3 years or 5 years, they're higher in terms of level of committing suicide amongst the general service member population. Here's a couple. They have some theories. But here's a couple that was pointed out. Don't necessarily have the data yet, but some theories. One of which is what tends to happen. Here's one thing that happens. Some guys in the military get disciplinary actions against them. You get disciplinary actions against you, that could be cause for separation from the service.
Okay.
A lot of people that joined the service didn't have I served with them. They didn't have a lot of else going on for them.
A lot of options, yeah.
They needed the military to really like stabilize them, to really give them some financial independence, to really get them away from their family that they wanted to get away from. You know what I mean? That they grew up with, you know, they're young, 16, 17, they were being really like, maybe they grew up in an abusive environment or something like that. So this would escape. But like, because so here's another part of the theory is that because they're already traumatized coming into the military, they're coming in broken people into a military that's not really good at helping people become whole as they carry out the duty of enforcing military combat and justice around the world and being like the world police that we are. So you have a broken person going to a broken system and then getting that system that at least provided some structure, at least three hot meals, 3 hots in the cot, right? You got food, you got places, you got discipline, you got clothes, you don't got the added pressures of whatever social anxiety that you may have in the normal community, because you have this system that you're in, and now that system is like, no, you don't belong here either. I could see like getting your career cut off short, you can like be that extra weight on. So like they have theories. These are the theories that they have.
Interesting. I can see how they could.
But this specific study about how what the suicide rate is amongst among this thing, they couch it as one death is too many. But what are y'all doing about it? All these studies, they have so many studies that have been going on for years saying the same thing. And so let me I'm gonna jump back into this book. Why is this a challenge for me? Because I've been trying myself. I said this before too, but I'm reiterating. I've been trying to navigate this stupid system. I'm an advocate for therapy, even outside the military, for everybody out there. It's the sound of my voice, especially men. Go work that shit out. The more you work that shit out, that's one less fucking mass shooting that happens. Again, not to say that people with mental health issues are automatically mass shooters, but that's one less woman that gets harassed. That's one less road rage incident. That's one less child that you're raising that gets beat because you're angry. Putting a pin in that for a second. Major findings for the study. States undercount former service member deaths at a combined error rate of 25%. That's one major finding. So as far as we talk about 24 deaths a day, it's probably higher than that. And these veterans are not getting the help they needed. When is the number going to be high enough to where the VA is going to take this shit seriously and really? There's a local outpatient veteran center near me. I go there. I'm like, okay. They're like, hey, here's the resource. They gave me the phone number, address, and everything. It's on paper, right? I actually go to the damn place and they're like, oh, we have 3 therapists on staff and 2 of them are leaving at the end of the month. I, the director, am the only licensed therapist left when they're gone. And my schedule is booked with group therapies. That's it. Because I'm the only one that I was doing group and I can't do individuals.
Yeah.
What the hell? They have a whole building. They have a building.
Yeah.
With 1 therapist. When we pay our tax dollars, these are the things we should be advocating our tax dollars go to. We're sending them to go fight these wars. We're sending them to go kill people. We're sending them to police our border sometimes. Like, but they're telling you that they need help. Yeah. And what you're doing is you're funneling money to another fucking jet we don't need. To another ship. We're vastly superior than any other closest navy anywhere in the world.
Yeah, you know that money will go to defense regardless. It don't matter what's going on.
Not even just defense, go to fucking a contractor, a private sector, Raytheon,
Oh,
Lucky.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's not even like you're producing it and creating federal jobs.
Yeah, it's about proxy wars now. They're contracting a lot of those jobs out to.
But you still have homeless vets.
Yeah.
You still got freaking people just trying to do the right thing and get therapy. And they got to go through the fucking ringer.
Yeah,
just to get some quality time with a professional that can help them figure some shit out, put stuff into perspective, give them behaviors and tools to help them cope and become better and whole human beings. It's a challenge for me, but it's not as a heavy lift as it is for a lot of my fellow sailors or service members. Yeah. The military is failing us in this regard. There should be no homeless veteran. What the you fucking, especially if you've served in combat. What the fuck?
That's so crazy, bro.
What kind of sense does that make?
This has been an issue for a long time too, man.
Like, it's like the first time.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the first time. This is
not the first time. You have all kinds of nonprofit organizations doing that work that the government should be doing. Our money is there anyways.
Facts, yeah.
They never reduce the military budget every year.
Absolutely.
All this stuff about freaking continuing resolutions or government shutdowns and stuff.
Absolutely.
You better believe the military got funded.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. DOD never listen. They ain't never see a bad day when it came to that check. Not the last 30, 40, 50 years. Like not at all, bro. Absolutely not.
The one thing that couple things they gave some recommendations on if you ain't gonna do, if you want to try to help these numbers out, there's some things you're not gonna do it, but here's what the science says, right? At least according to this study. First of all, this must begin at the community level by holistically focusing on housing, meaningful employment, financial security, relationships, purpose, giving people purpose, physical health, and mental well-being. Solely focusing, this is what the military has been doing, solely focusing on the mechanism of death does not address the root cause of suicide. They focus on, we got all kinds of training on drinking and alcohol dependency. We got all kinds of training on gun use and gun ownership responsibility. We have all kinds of shit on insider threat, all that kind of stuff. When it's like, we don't even can we address a thing first before it even has to get to all that bullshit? Get people the mental health that there was no such thing as going to see a counselor when I was actively serving. Everybody was scared to do that shit because we thought that shit was gonna be on our record.
Oh, I heard about that.
If it's on our record,
I talked to a Marine that told me that one time.
If it's gonna be on the record, that's one less deployment we could do.
Yeah.
If that's one less deployment, that's one because we get bonuses for stuff like that. We get high pay. We get freaking our house, our wherever we're renting our housing paid for.
Yeah, I get per diems and all that too.
Per diem.
Yeah.
My first house I bought because the money I saved off of per diem, really.
Yeah, big fact.
I was able to put a down payment down. Lack of access to mental health services, contributing to the suicide rate amongst veterans is the number one reason. A lot of veterans, specifically talking about people who have done their time, they served, regardless of not if they were honorably or otherwise discharged. They served so that the rest of y'all could fucking chill out and go do what the fuck y'all doing, school, camping, fucking talking shit to Kaepernick. You know,
yeah.
They serve so you can do all that. They serve so Cappin could take that knee. They serve to keep it over there so we don't have to fight the war over here. You heard that before?
Yeah.
We fight them over there so we don't have to fight them over here. All that shit. All them slogans, don't tread on me kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Tupperville, for you to be able to do all that bullshit.
That guy again.
So you could do that to sustain this democracy, to help sustain this democracy. As imperfect as it may be, these are actual human beings that are in these trenches.
Yeah.
And we are doing them a disservice by making it that hard. You know how easy it is for me to get a pair of glasses at the VA? It's easy. It's very easy. That should be, but there's no consequence. There's very low stakes, dog. If I want to get a new pair of glasses, dog, very low stakes.
Yeah.
Very low stakes. But as a veteran, if your mental health ain't right, there's a lot of shit that can go wrong with that.
But you need qualified professionals, though. You can't just throw anybody at that job.
You can't just throw anybody at that job.
I think that's part of it too.
Invest in it.
Yeah.
Invest in it.
Yeah.
I know what you care about
About
when I see what you invest in.
Yeah, where you put your money at.
Where you put your money at. That's how I know.
That's absolutely. That's 100%.
Otherwise, I'm thinking y'all just throwing bodies out there.
Yeah.
Y'all just throwing bodies.
That's what it's looking like.
People should feel some type of way about that. Hello, if they're recruiting you right now, you're in high school, you're listening to this, and they're trying to recruit you right now, asking what they're doing about mental health services. If you end up going somewhere in some bullshit ass war that was a war by choice, and you kill a child by accident, I don't know, somewhere in Gaza for example, and you see that every night before you go to bed.
Could never unsee that, bro. That's crazy.
You close your eyes and you're seeing that. Asking what they would do for you if that was the situation.
Good question to ask.
That's what I would ask now that I know better.
Well, I know for me. Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's a challenge. What you got?
Yeah. It's not as dark as that, or as hopeless as that. but
I'm still working on it though, because
yeah,
I actually just went through a boot camp for sleep therapy, because I've also been diagnosed with insomnia.
Yeah,
and that shit is, it really kind of
really been helping.
Changed.
It's really been helping you a little bit.
Yeah, it's been helping me like crazy.
Yeah.
So
that's dope.
if you put in the service,
right,
it helped. Like my life is kind of. You know what? I don't know if it's too early for me to say this, but I think it's changed my life. That little bit alone, it's gotten so many other like ripple effects already, and that was an 8-week program, and it's already had so much ripple effects in my life. Bro, just so I can get some sleep properly.
Consistent quality sleep, bro, can make all the difference. That's a fact.
That's what a little bit of investment. They've invested in that program.
That's it.
In that insomnia program. They invested in it. And I can tell you already, it works.
Yeah. And again, consistent quality sleep makes all the difference. And using those same terms, consistency and quality. My challenge is finding new hobbies that I can be consistently doing and spend quality time. That's worth the time.
Yeah.
that will provide more quality into my life as far as like actually having something that I can maximize my day with. Right?
Do you think you have the bandwidth for?
You know what? That's a very good question. I thought I was actually on my guitar earlier today. And just like practicing and just kind of like following like this tutorial that I have with Fender or whatever, an hour and a half passed by like that. And I started thinking to myself, like, yo, do I have the time to because what they say is like, you do 30 minutes a day, you good, right? But like, I realized just in like troubleshooting things that I was doing wrong, it took me like an hour and a half, like just on his guitar.
But that's a lesson in and of itself too.
It is. Because as you improve, you start to like kind of diagnose like the areas that you struggle in, and you kind of can address those things more quickly and in a more succinct way. So that time will like shrink as far as that goes. And your troubleshooting skills will get better, obviously. But I just find it interesting. And if you haven't guessed by now, my challenge is finding new hobbies, right? The guitar isn't a new hobby, but a new hobby would be, I talked about it before, is getting a keyboard, right? So I will be getting that pretty soon because I do want to learn the keys as well. But I also wanted to specifically point this out though. So when I say finding new hobbies, not just new hobbies that I'm already familiar with, but new hobbies that I normally would not have even thought about doing. Like, for example, rock climbing. Rock climbing is not something that I ever thought about doing.
But
I kind of want to get into it.
You talking about like outside though?
Not outside. Not outside.
Oh, hey.
No.
I don't know how you trying to deep, but you know what?
No.
You know what? That indoor shit could be a gateway drug.
Yeah, that's a whole fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Because low key, I was looking at some joints in Virginia. Virginia got some fire ones. Virginia got some fire indoor joints. I was looking at Virginia. I was like, okay, I might, I might check it out. But I'll definitely have to contain myself because I can be a very competitive person, and I like to kind of push myself physically sometimes. So I have to be careful about that. Right?
You ever seen that movie Free Solo?
No, but I would never. I would never.
They get there. They probably started off at a gym, at a Virginia gym too. Talking about with pads on the ground, all that kind of stuff.
Man, they looking for a way to die, man. That's their goal.
Kill me, son. Why will I not die? I'm trying to die. Niggas just like climbing on this joint. I just won't die. I keep trying.
Nah, man. That's a whole different level. That's a whole different level. That's man. I'm good.
Yeah.
But like I
but that's an example. That's an example.
Yeah, that's just an example of like something, not the free solo thing, but like rock climbing, right? Something that I would normally never even consider. Or like hunting, like actual hunting, like with a bow and arrow or something like that. Like
I thought of buying a actual compound bow, not the crossbow, because people do that stuff. A compound bow, like a legit one.
Yeah.
But like my property, I feel like I could like make it work, but like I don't have the distance.
I wouldn't
practice.
Them HOA folks will be like,
they be on my ass for everything, dog.
They gonna be on you like Hunger Games, man. Like,
yeah, but I'm be like, I volunteer as you. No, I can't. Not on this. Not the HOA don't work like that.
No, they're not gonna.
But the compound bow sounds interesting. It would be kind of dope to do that. I know people go turkey hunting with the
exactly like that, and that's something that I would like to do at some point. Like, hey, I want to go turkey hunting. But I mean, turkeys can be very aggressive, so I'll be careful about it. Because they do be chasing people around. But like something that I normally would not ever have even like consider doing. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. So I think a challenge for me is to like actually make my mind up about something specifically that is like out of my comfort zone that I could ultimately make a hobby.
So there's no other thing that like you feel like you already were not just like an idea, but like something that you maybe done once or twice that you keep saying to yourself, I'm going to do this again, but that you just keep failing through it, because this could be a chance for you like solidly commit to that thing.
Yeah,
the keyboard thing is a good example, right? But like, what else? Like maybe something outside the house, something that requires you to like go, and actively participate in this thing.
That's a good question, because I was gonna say the keyboard thing. That was gonna be the first thing. That's the first thing that came in my mind when you were asking that.
So I know for me, I'll give you an example. For me, is the volunteering at the animal shelter.
At the dog shelter. Yeah, that's kind of
the animal shelter. Dope, it's not just dogs, but
animal shelter. Yeah, that's
the most important thing there is probably the dogs. But,
probably, yeah.
The animal shelter, like making time for that, put it on the schedule. You know what I mean? Getting the training to be able to handle the different animals, like it's something that I had interested in doing anyways. But like at some point, I had to like commit to like actually go and do the hours kind of thing. So is there anything like you may have like done once or twice or been thinking about that, like you could like because something like rock climbing, like the example you gave, if you've never really done it before, you know what I mean, as in like something that was like an activity for yourself, it hit a little different versus something that you already kind of organically lean towards anyway.
You know what actually comes to mind now that you described it that way. working on cars. Actually, it's actually something that like actually
Niggas
building.
don't work on cars no more.
Yeah, I know, but like it's but like
Okay.
actually it's kind of you know why I thought about that, because like I low-key have had conversations with my colleague who's like he's a Mazda enthusiast. Like this guy, he loves he actually races Mazdas and everything. Like he actually builds like legit engine blocks. Like
Okay.
this is what he does for real. Like he knows cars ins and out. And I'll have conversations with him and just ask him certain questions about, just things. He'll talk about some stuff and I'll ask him a question like, hey, what is this? What is this responsible for or whatever? And he'll go to a whole diatribe of like different things or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo.
So the catalytic converter is being stolen by all the cars. Here's why the catalytic converter is important. Yeah.
Right. So like he's really like that. Like there's nothing about cars that he doesn't know. Like, and it kind of made me, it kind of intrigued me about it. Like I think it would be dope to like build an actual engine. Like really build an actual engine for a car and actually
it's an engineering science project kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I realize it is kind of up my alley because I am an engineer at my job when it comes to like virtual service in tech. So so it's kind of like up that alley a little bit where like I have that general interest of like how this thing comes together and how it works, right? So I think that's actually something that I probably would be really interested in, like legit like, hey, let me see if I can like kind of like link up with somebody who probably like has access like a junkyard or something like that, or like a shop or something I can just kind of play around. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
two questions. So two questions. I don't know if they necessarily fit with each other, but and you can answer how you want. But I'm like, what's prompting that? That thing that you feel like I need to do this now. Like I feel like I need to do. What's prompting that? And the other question is kind of where do you think is gonna lead you? Like even if it was like, let's say rock climbing or something, like, is that something where like I'm gonna become a professional rock climber, or I'm gonna become a professional keyboardist, or like where's these things gonna go? So to those two points right there.
So the first question is, I mean, I can answer that simply with just a general interest. I think it's always been a general interest of mine to like understand how cars work.
But I mean, I'm not talking about just the car specifically. I'm talking about like whatever the hobby is, like
Oh, like in general, like whatever hobby. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. That's a good question. I think in my mind it's been. This is kind of how I'm going to answer this question. I think this is what I think the answer is actually. I think I've become a little bit more adventurous as I've gotten older, because I'm naturally an introvert, and because I've been actually more inclined to like try new things recently, especially like in the past couple of years, that things that I've actually had like a general interest in, I'm like, let me actually go do that. Let me actually go look into this. Rock climbing is not necessarily something that I actually was interested in, but because I had that conversation with a colleague of mine, I was like, I should give it a shot. Why not?
You could be making a list of things that maybe you could give a shot.
Yeah. I was like, maybe I'll just try. And when I like think about it, like, okay, maybe I can do that. I'll just make a list in my head, and I'm like, oh, when I have some time, I'll go do that, or I'll go do that, I'll go do that. But I think ultimately it comes from that though, specifically where like I feel like as I've gotten older, I've become more inclined to take more risks per se and be more adventurous and just trying new things. Kind of like in a way, it's almost like I'm like discovering a side of myself that I never really allowed to blossom for real,
to explore.
So just kind of exploring more of like a side of me that I was really too comfortable really exploring, but now I've become more comfortable with just who I am as a person and all that stuff. So I think it may ultimately stem from that, right? It may have roots in that. And I guess to answer your second question as far as like what it's going to lead to, I think it's just going to lead to a more fulfilling life. Like, because there are things that you'll never experience if you don't shoot, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, there's things that you'll never experience if you don't actually put your best foot forward.
So I mean, I guess that's good. That's a good way to kind of see it too, because it's not that you need it to become a career, become a side hustle with a job. It's like, no, I want to, like my buddy, he picked up scuba diving. You know what I mean? And like,
that's pretty cool.
He's not looking to become freaking Namor or somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ruler of the seven seas or anything
Yeah.
like that. It's just like,
Yeah.
well, he's exploring, he sees stuff
Mhm.
like people nobody sees, really, you know, because it's under the water, under the depths, and he gets to see it and experience it and just swim down there, and there's that peace, you know, and there's quiet and all those experiences that he gets from that. So it doesn't necessarily have to become this grander thing other than the internal satisfaction I guess, you know what I mean, the
And that's really
experience
all
that
it
you
is,
have
I think.
from it.
For
It's
for me-
valid. That's all valid. That's all
yeah,
valid.
yeah. For me, and honestly, for me, like that would be probably the most succinct way to describe it. It just gives me internal validation. Honestly, it's not for anybody in particular. It's just me.
So as far as you having this challenge, are you at the point right now in this that you're just gonna throw a bunch of things against the wall and see what sticks, or do you think you can like come up with a targeted list of things that you want to try to find a habit, not a habit but a hobby?
It's more targeted. It's more targeted. It's not just like trying stuff just to try things, but it's things that I've thought about before. It's simply things that I've thought about before, but didn't give much thought to actually do. So it's not necessarily just let's see if it stick, but it's more of things that I ultimately believe that I will low-key enjoy at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's not like if I tried it, something like, oh, okay, I tried it, so I'm just gonna move on to something else. I think that it could actually be like a legitimate hobby that I can see myself just doing in my pastime when I'm older, when I'm 50, 60 or whatever, just doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's really all that it is. But I mean, I guess to round this off as far as my challenge goes, yeah, it is challenging to find. I think it is challenging to find hobbies that really give you fulfillment, because I think ultimately that's what it's also doing for me as well. Like I think it gives me a bit of fulfillment because I believe in doing these things that help me to maximize my time here on Earth. So that I'm actually doing stuff. And who knows? It could be something that can help people at the end. I don't know. Who knows? I could probably help somebody or whatever, you know, in these finding these new hobbies. So
Anyway, it could be something that could make you a more well-rounded person. You never know.
Yeah, that too. It can make me more useful as a human being. So yeah.
Oh, you like that? You like that, didn't you? Well, for more clips, click here.
Absolutely, and for the full show, click here.
I can't even see your hand.
Oh crap.
Fast time. Fast time.